Okay, so things are BAD, straight up brutal. Someone just got absolutely wrecked and our boy is standing over him. He's covered in blood but doesn't even flinch. This dude is ice cold. He mutters about how he should have done this sooner, like, wow, no regrets at all. A few guys are watching, looking totally freaked out by the scene unfolding before them. Our boy turns and honestly, they should be scared. He's radiating pure menace. He's got a chilling smirk on his face, and it's clear he's enjoying this way too much. He orders them to take care of that low-life thug. No way, this is getting intense. These guys are hesitant, but they know better than to argue with him. They're stepping up. He's soaked in blood but stands there completely unbothered. This guy is a different breed. Seriously, the intensity in his gaze is unreal. This whole situation is escalating fast. He's absolutely losing it, ranting about someone thinking they're better than him. Straight up unhinged. But before anyone can react, a shadowy figure moves in, knives flashing, and our boy is already anticipating the attack. No hesitation, he grabs the attacker's wrist, a vice grip that looks like it's about to break bone. And bam, a blinding flash of energy erupts as he connects with a brutal punch. The attacker goes flying, crashing through something, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Our boy is right there, stepping forward and demanding to know what the heck is going on. Another attacker tries to get the drop on him, but our boy is too fast. He dodges and retaliates with another devastating blow. Pow pow, he's unleashing a flurry of attacks, each one more brutal than the last. The attacker is getting completely demolished, and it's clear this fight is one-sided. And just like that, the fight's over. Our boy stands tall, radiating power, while the attacker is left in pieces. This dude is straight up demanding to know why they followed him all this way, and it's intense. But then this kid walks up holding a ridiculously cute bag filled with food for the injured man. No way. The injured man is confused, asking if he's joking, but our boy's expression is getting darker and darker. He reveals it's not a joke. The kid brought the food as thanks for helping your grandpa. The injured man's face completely changes, and it's clear he's recalling something huge. He grabs the bag, but his hand is covered in blood, and the kid looks genuinely shocked. The injured man is getting flashbacks, and it looks like he's remembering a past betrayal. His eyes are locked on the kid, and the intensity is off the charts. This is not a friendly visit anymore. He asks the kid if he really thought he was thanking him for helping his grandpa. The tension is unreal. And then a close-up on his face, pure rage, and honestly, this is where things are about to explode. The injured man asks if our boy is still using that bike, and it's a loaded question, bro. He claims he'll return it, but then asks how many people this dude has hurt with it. Talk about a turn. The injured man confesses he never even rode motorcycles, which feels like a massive lie right now. The kid asks if this is a stolen bike, and honestly, that's a really good question. The injured man swears he bought it with his own money, but his face says otherwise. He's getting super defensive, and all the blood is making this even more unsettling. The injured man is straight up denying everything, but the kid isn't buying it for a second. Then the injured man's story changes. He mentions a deal with someone named Swan. He says Swan gave him the bike as a gift, but it's clear he's still hiding something huge. However, the kid isn't letting up, demanding to know exactly what kind of deal this was. The kid just stares at the injured man, completely unimpressed with his Swan story. Suddenly, a guy rushes forward, yelling at them to take their boss to the hospital, and it's chaos. The injured man calmly agrees, then thanks our bye, but it feels super forced, honestly. As they start to leave, the injured man throws a final look at the kid, and it's chilling. The kid just watches them go, totally unreadable. This dude is playing a long game. He's thinking hard, replaying the conversation, and you can practically see the gears turning in his head. But then, a flashback, a shadowy figure, and it's clear this whole situation hits close to home for him. He remembers a past mission, and the name Swan keeps echoing in his mind. No way this is a coincidence. He's piecing everything together, realizing the injured man is connected to a bigger, way more dangerous operation. Our boy is determined to find out the truth, and straight up, this is about to get intense. He's driving, completely focused, but his mind is racing with everything he just learned about Swan. He remembers helping an old man for 2 years, but now realizes it was all part of Swan's plan, seriously messed up. He's questioning whether he truly believes in this Swan character, and it's clear he's starting to doubt everything. Suddenly, he pulls over, grabs a weapon, and starts disassembling the motorcycle. This dude doesn't mess around. He's meticulously checking every part, searching for a hidden tracker, and it's intense as hell. And boom, he finds it, a tiny device hidden inside the engine, proving Swan was watching him all along. He crushes the device, then stares intensely ahead, a cold look in his eyes. Swan is about to regret everything. Our boy is locking up the bike, and honestly, this is a declaration of war. Things are about to explode. The higher-ups are freaking out because Alice is off the grid and straight up impossible to contain. They demand she be brought back immediately, but the man reporting in has terrible news. Thing is, they can't even contact Alice, let alone track her location. No way. The general is not pleased, clenching his jaw as he absorbs the info, and honestly, he looks furious. Cut to our boy, clearly injured, getting bandages wrapped around a nasty leg wound. He's panting, clearly pushing through the pain, and the medic is working fast to stop the bleeding. But despite the injury, he's already back on his feet, pressing down on the wound to staunch the flow. He's limping, covered in blood, and determined to keep moving, and it's kinda terrifying how resilient this dude is. The medic tries to stop him, but our boy ignores him, focused on whatever mission he's on. He's limping away, leaving a trail of blood, and you just know something huge is about to go down. He's reeling, realizing Alice knew he was one of the numbers all along, and it's a total mind blow. Alice storms into the room, gun drawn, and straight up blasts the door open. It's intense. She's got a gun in each hand, looking absolutely menacing, and she's moving fast. Alice corners the injured dude, and he's begging for his life, but honestly, this dude had it coming. She's got him pinned, a gun to his head, and her eyes are glowing red, super creepy. Alice is icy cold, pointing the gun directly at him, and it's clear she's not messing around. He's screaming, pleading for mercy, but Alice just looks down on him with pure disdain. She swings the door shut, cutting off his view, and the impact sends blood splattering everywhere. The door swings open again, revealing an empty room, and it's a total head fake. But then she's behind him, and the whole scene is bathed in blue light. No way. Alice is shockingly calm, revealing she got his call and knew he was in trouble. She explains she was shot, but it's minor. She's a total pro, obviously. He asks who shot her, and she says she hasn't figured it out yet, but she will. Alice insists this shooter is seriously skilled in combat, and she's already planning to investigate. Her bodyguard, Ijin, steps in, demanding they leave immediately. He's not playing around. Ijin tries to help the injured guy up, but he's barely conscious and can't even stand. Ijin asks if he's okay, but it's clear the guy got absolutely wrecked. She really did a number on him. Ijin scoops him up effortlessly, carrying him out like he's nothing. This dude is strong. Ijin's face is grim, but there's a hint of something else there, and it's kinda scary. We get a close-up of Alice's face, and it's intense. She's definitely hiding something. Ijin throws a flashbang, total chaos erupts, and everyone's disoriented, but Alice is unfazed. Alice smoothly draws her gun, aiming with deadly precision. She's a straight-up professional. She fires a rapid burst, taking down multiple attackers, and it's all happening so fast, no way. The grenade goes off, sending debris flying, but Alice somehow manages to keep her footing. She's moving through the wreckage, taking out enemies left and right. Our boy is a whirlwind. Ijin is still carrying the injured guy, but Alice's bodyguard is getting ready to fire his own weapon. A shot rings out and the bodyguard's weapon jams. Talk about bad timing, bro. Alice sees the jam and immediately covers him, unleashing another hail of bullets. She's got his back. She continues fighting, clearing a path through the chaos, and honestly, these guys didn't stand a chance. Another explosion rocks the room, and Alice is right in the center of it. This is intense. Alice is taking insane damage, but she's still fighting. She just won't go down. Ijin's gun clicks, but it's empty. No way, not now. He's completely vulnerable. He dives to cover, but a hail of bullets rips through the room. It's a near miss. Alice spins, returning fire with incredible speed, and takes out another attacker. She's a machine. The enemy keeps coming, and Alice is getting overwhelmed, but she's still holding her own, barely. She uses the environment to her advantage, taking cover and repositioning, but she's clearly injured. Ijin reloads, finally getting his gun ready, but another enemy appears out of nowhere. Alice fires again, but this dude dodges and aims right at her. She's in serious trouble. She tries to move, but a blast sends her flying. It looks brutal, but she's still alive. Ijin fires, hitting the enemy, but it's too late. Alice is down, and this fight just got real. Alice is down, but she's not out. She's grabbing her weapon, refusing to stay on the ground. She manages to get to her feet and straight up fires on the enemy, taking him by surprise. Alice's grip tightens on the gun, and you can see the sheer determination on her face. She's locked in. She takes a step forward, weapon raised, and starts clearing a path through the remaining enemies. It's brutal. Another enemy appears, aiming a gun at Alice, but she's too fast. She dodges and fires back. Alice continues to fight, taking out enemies with precise shots, but she's clearly pushing her limits. She's relentless, but the enemy keeps coming. This is a full-on firefight, and Alice is right in the middle. Okay, so things are bad, like straight-up massacre level bad. Soldiers are down, covered in blood. It's a total mess. The scene cuts to a blonde woman observing everything. She looks icy calm, even with all this chaos unfolding. But hold up, our boy Ijin is flying through the room, a whirlwind of fists and fury, taking down enemies left and right. He connects with one guy's jaw smack, and the force sends him reeling. No way, that felt good. Then another dude tries to block, but Ijin's attack cracks his guard. Honestly, this dude had it coming. Ijin's relentless, delivering a brutal blow that sends another soldier crumpling with an AGH. He's a machine right now. He's just dismantling them, but you can see he's hurting too. He's clutching his own side, trying to hold himself together. The scene pans out, showing the aftermath, bodies everywhere, and Ijin standing amidst the carnage, breathing heavily. He's surveying the damage, looking for more threats, but the blonde woman is still just watching. It's creepy. She's got this cold, calculating look on her face, like she expected all this, and it's definitely unsettling. Alice and another soldier stride into the room, stepping with purpose. They're heading straight for the commander. The commander demands to know what Alice is doing, his voice dripping with suspicion and annoyance. Alice fires back, asking if it's true they were unknowingly helping Mad Dog by attacking the wrong targets. She pushes it further, questioning if Anna and the other fallen agents died because of this messed up decision. The commander flinches, a tiny reaction, but Alice catches it, and she knows she's hit a nerve. Judging by his reaction, Alice realizes the information she received is actually true. It's a brutal confirmation. She's reeling, realizing they targeted those numbers after they were already compromised. It's a total setup. Alice is devastated, thinking about the meaningless deaths of her comrades because of this ridiculous, calculated move. Commander tries to deflect, asking what any of this has to do with her. Total gaslighting, honestly. He claims their comrades died during the mission. It's just natural, but then he orders Alice to simply follow his orders. Alice straight up tells the commander no sir, defying his orders. She's not backing down, and it's amazing. He threatens her, saying if she disobeys again, he won't be so lenient, and Alice doesn't even flinch. Alice turns on her heel and walks away, ignoring his warning. She's got a plan, and she's sticking to it. She's heading out, but the commander's voice stops her, demanding she doesn't pull another stunt like that. Alice responds with a curt yes sir, but continues walking. She's playing his game, but she's still in control. She turns, heading back toward the office, and the commander looks annoyed, like he underestimated her. Alice exits, slamming the door behind her with a loud thump. She's making a statement, no doubt. Another soldier is talking to the commander, explaining they're putting Alice on standby because of her actions. Commander is still fuming, but he's also calculating. This dude is a master manipulator, honestly. He's trying to play it cool, but he's clearly worried about what Alice knows. This is getting good. Ijin's walking into SW Group headquarters, and bro, the place is huge, seriously impressive. He meets with a group of suited-up security personnel, and they're all staring at him. Something's up. They're talking about how Ijin isn't the newbie anymore, and he's apparently exceeded expectations, which is awesome. The team is hyped, laughing and joking, but Ijin looks confused, like, wait a minute, what's going on? One of the guys reveals they hired new security, but Ijin's still being treated like the rookie. No way. Ijin demands to know why he's still considered the newbie, and honestly, he has every right to be annoyed. He turns, and we get a close-up of another guy smirking. This dude's definitely hiding something. The smirk widens as the team chuckles, and Ijin's clearly not amused. The tension is building. Ijin's staring them down, and it's clear he's about to unleash his inner mercenary. This is gonna be good. But something's off with this whole situation. I have a feeling Ijin's walking into a trap. Okay, so the security team is briefing Ijin. They recruited skilled veterans because of recent incidents. But hold up, everyone stops and starts checking out this blonde woman walking in, and they're clearly impressed. She's hot is an understatement. The guys are straight up losing it, and Ijin's just observing. The commander wants her to infiltrate SW group, and they've crafted a perfect cover story so she won't be detected. She's getting orders to go in, stay on standby, and basically be their eyes and ears inside SW. Serious spy stuff. This woman is a total pro. She doesn't even flinch, just gives a subtle nod, and Ijin is analyzing everything. Ijin's quiet, but his eyes are doing all the talking. He's processing, calculating, and honestly, he's suspicious. The commander turns away, and Ijin's gaze follows her, and for a moment she seems to be looking back at him. She's staring right at him, and a small smile plays on her lips. What is she planning? But she quickly averts her gaze, and it's like she's shutting down, leaving Ijin even more confused. This is getting intense. Ijin's laying down the law. A welcome ceremony is happening now, and he's in charge. Everyone's asking what the ceremony even is, and Ijin's just standing there, looking stoic. The commander explains they have new recruits and they need guidance. Basically, Ijin's the mentor now. But then the commander gets intense, explaining they want the recruits to feel comfortable and adjust quickly. Ijin nods, and the commander asks if he understands. It's a weirdly leading question, right? The recruits are all smiles, but Ijin's expression is unreadable. This dude is hiding something. The commander says they're enjoying this, and Ijin is not buying it. He's totally suspicious. Ijin calls them out, asking what they're actually up to. He's not falling for this act. And the commander just laughs. No way, something is seriously wrong with these guys. Our boy Ijin and his sister are facing off in the training gym. Looks like they're about to throw down. Ijin's been given orders to infiltrate this place, so he's trying to blend in. A tough ask, honestly. But more importantly, he notices everyone around him looks super worried, like something's off. He's trying to play it cool, but his teammate keeps commenting on how much everyone babies him, which is kinda rude. Ijin's tightening his gloves, getting ready for a fight, but he's clearly more concerned with his crew's faces. He's totally focused on his team, wanting to know what's got them so stressed, which is sweet, actually. The others seem to be silently pleading with him to stay safe, which is a little unsettling, to be real. He's trying to figure out what's going on, but everyone is avoiding eye contact, straight up acting suspicious. However, Ijin's got a feeling this infiltration is about to get way more complicated than he thought it would. He's flexing his fists, ready to deal with whatever comes next, because our boy doesn't back down from a fight. Ijin throws a punch and it lands hard, sending his opponent reeling back. No way. He's relentless, throwing another punch, and his opponent is clearly getting wrecked. Boom, Ijin connects with a brutal blow, sending his opponent flying through the air. His opponent is down, groaning, asking how this kid is so strong. It's a legit question. Up close, Ijin looks totally focused, eyes narrowed like a predator, honestly. But Ijin doesn't let up, launching another attack while his opponent is still recovering. He's delivering a flurry of punches, but his opponent manages to block, barely. Ijin keeps pushing though and finally breaks through, landing a solid hit. His opponent is getting seriously beat up, but he's still trying to fight back. Ijin sends one last punch and his opponent is sent flying straight out of the gym. Ijin's already moving, dodging another attacker who's coming in hot with a blade. No joke. Everyone's stunned. They're questioning how this kid is so skilled in close combat, honestly. He takes a step forward and it's lightning fast, like he's already anticipating their next move. Ijin dashes forward, a blur of motion, and everyone is totally caught off guard by his speed. He unleashes a powerful attack, but the lead attacker deflects it with a solid block. Impressive, but not enough. Ijin doesn't slow down, continuing to press the attack, overwhelming the guy with a relentless barrage of punches. The attacker tries to regain control, but Ijin's already breaking through his defense, landing hit after hit. He delivers one final, devastating blow, sending the attacker flying straight out of the training area. Remaining attackers are shocked, staring at the scene unfolding before them, completely speechless. They're all looking around, clearly rattled and wondering what just happened. This dude is on another level. Ijin grabs another attacker like it's nothing and throws him right at the remaining guy. This dude tries to block, but Ijin's already sliding under his guard. It's a total sweep. He's got the guy pinned and is delivering a flurry of jabs, seriously overwhelming him. But the attacker is tough, clenching his jaw and trying to withstand the brutal assault. Ijin's opponent thinks he's used to this kind of pressure, but our boy is relentless, no way. He lands another powerful blow, sending the attacker reeling, and honestly, he deserves it. Ijin keeps the pressure on, unleashing another attack, and the attacker is getting completely demolished. The attacker tries to counter, but Ijin anticipates it, dodging and weaving with insane speed. He's got the attacker cornered now and is delivering a final, devastating strike. Ijin's opponent is down, and he's staring up at our boy with a look of total defeat. Ijin's opponent is getting absolutely wrecked, but then a teacher jumps in, yelling for them to stop. The teacher is straight up furious, demanding to know what's going on. This is getting intense. The other students are shocked, gulping and whispering. They've never seen anything like this. One dude thinks Ijin is going too far and steps forward, but he immediately regrets it. Ijin doesn't even flinch and just stares this guy down with a cold, piercing gaze. No way you'd want to mess with him. Ijin's back in the gym practicing, and he's switching between red and blue boxing gloves. Talk about versatile. He's jumping around, landing precise strikes. This dude is a machine, seriously. Ijin's focused, honing his skills, and it's clear he's taking this training seriously. The other students watch him, completely awestruck. They're realizing he's the real deal. The teacher from before is there too, looking concerned, but also kinda impressed, honestly. Ijin's teacher is questioning his bodyguard skills, but honestly, this kid is a prodigy. The teacher thinks Ijin was hired for show, but she's quickly realizing he's the real deal. Two women enter and are immediately impressed by Ijin's sparring session. Wow, they're floored. One of the women asks what's going on, and another explains Ijin is sparring with the school's best. They're shocked nobody's ever seen anyone spar with Ijin before. This dude is on another level. The woman in the black suit says, "Oh, hello," looking straight at Ijin. She's sizing him up. She asks if this is another welcome party, but the vibe is totally different. This is serious training. Someone confirms it's a sparring session, and the woman is straight up amazed. The woman in the black suit can't believe what she's seeing. Ijin is a total beast, no doubt. Okay, so our boy Ijin gets a call. Someone just attacked 018, one of the numbers. Straight up, things are about to pop off. He's on the phone with someone, and it sounds like 018 almost died. Thankfully, they got to him in time. Apparently, there are rumors swirling that 018 is a total beast and hard to control, which explains why Forrest is keeping a close eye on her. But regardless, someone went after one of the numbers, and that's a huge problem because 002 is not going to take this lightly. Word on the street is other groups are seeing this as a perfect chance to attack Forrest and flex their power. Ijin is listening intently, clearly processing all this intel, and you can tell he's already formulating a plan. The guy on the phone says if they'd waited even a little longer, 018 would be dead. That's how close it was. And honestly, this dude is laying out all the dirt on 018, saying Forrest is controlling her with some shady stuff. Forrest also released an official statement, but it's probably just damage control at this point. Ijin is looking intense, processing everything, and you just know this is going to lead to some serious action. Ijin's checking his phone, and it looks like he's tracking someone's location, probably related to the 018 attack. He's getting a full rundown on the situation, and it seems like Forrest is keeping things super tight-lipped. This dude is analyzing the intel, and it's clear he doesn't trust Forrest's version of events at all. He's tapping away on his phone, probably digging up more information. Ijin doesn't mess around, bro. He's looking at a time on his phone, and it's like he's waiting for something specific to happen. Ijin is seriously focused, and he's tapping on his phone again. He's definitely zeroing in on a target. He's checking the time again, and it feels like a countdown is starting. The tension is building, seriously. Ijin is staring intensely at his phone, and it's like he's about to make a huge move. This is gonna be good. He's got a determined look on his face, and you can tell he's ready to take matters into his own hands. Ijin finds the location of the guys who attacked him. They're holed up in a building, and he's already moving. He's stalking through the woods, totally focused, but it's super quiet, way too quiet, honestly. This dude is down, totally out cold, and a group of guys are standing over him. They look like they just finished roughing him up. Ijin bursts onto the scene, and these guys don't even have time to react before he's launching into action. He's handing one of the guys a nutrition pack, a meal replacement bar, but it's a super unsettling gesture considering the circumstances. Ijin tells them they're not even halfway done, and it's clear this isn't a rescue mission, it's straight up interrogation time. He's getting info out of them, they're clearly terrified, and it's all about who ordered the hit on him. One guy tries to play dumb, but Ijin's already one step ahead, squeezing the nutrition pack tighter. They spill the beans a guy named Jay who works for Forrest, but it's a setup, Ijin already knew that. Ijin's not buying it, and he's demanding the real name. This dude is relentless, seriously. Ijin's still squeezing that nutrition pack, and the guy finally cracks, revealing the mastermind is a guy named Park Sunwoo. He demands to know where Park Sunwoo is, and the guy spills that Sunwoo's with his family right now, no way. Ijin immediately takes off, leaving the beaten guys there, and honestly, they deserved it. He's tracking Sunwoo to a bustling street and spots him with a wife and daughter. This is getting intense. Ijin starts walking toward them, but a car suddenly speeds towards the family. It's a hit, straight up. But our boy is faster, pushing Sunwoo's daughter out of the way, taking the brunt of the impact himself. No time to react. He's down, but he manages to grab Sunwoo, and the dude is absolutely terrified. He knows he messed up big time. Ijin's holding Sunwoo tight, demanding to know why he ordered the hit, and the guy's stammering about competition. Sunwoo's babbling about wanting to eliminate Ijin as a threat, but Ijin's not having it. This dude is furious. Ijin's about to deliver some serious payback, but the police arrive, sirens blazing, talk about bad timing. Ijin's pulling Sunwoo closer, his grip tightening like a vise. This dude is about to explode. Sunwoo spills everything. He ordered the hit because Ijin was gaining too much influence, threatening his business. Ijin doesn't care about business. He wants to know who gave the order, and Sunwoo's practically begging for forgiveness. Suddenly, a shadowy figure launches from a nearby building, aiming for Ijin. Talk about a surprise attack. Ijin reacts instantly, shielding Sunwoo and his daughter from the attacker, and honestly, that's cold. The attacker lands, and it's one of Sunwoo's own men. This dude's got layers of betrayal, seriously. Ijin throws Sunwoo towards his wife and daughter, ordering them to get safe. Our boy's switching to combat mode. He's moving so fast it's just blurs and speed lines, and the attacker barely has time to register what's happening. Ijin delivers a brutal series of blows, disabling the attacker in seconds. This dude doesn't mess around. The police are swarming now, but Ijin's already gone, disappearing into the crowd, a true ghost. A woman with blonde hair thanks Ijin for saving her, but he's straight up confused. What is she talking about? She explains he saved her from a speeding car, and Ijin's like, no problem. So polite, even after all that fighting. Ijin's staring intently at the woman. There's something about her that has him on edge, no way. A man walks up and the woman introduces him as her brother. Our boy is instantly suspicious. The brother asks Ijin what he saved his sister from, but Ijin just repeats it was nothing. He's playing it cool. The brother reveals his sister is Sunwoo's daughter, and Ijin's face drops. This dude is connected to everything. Ijin asks if this is Sunwoo's family, and the brother confirms, but something about this whole scene feels off. Sunwoo's wife starts thanking Ijin, but he cuts her off, asking what he saved them from. He needs answers. The brother steps forward, claiming Ijin saved them from a car accident, but Ijin doesn't believe it for a second. Ijin demands to know the truth, and the brother finally admits it wasn't an accident. Someone tried to run them over. Ijin's stunned. He had no idea he worked with the brother. This is getting wilder by the second. But wait, Ijin's still pressing for details, demanding to know exactly what he saved them from. He's not letting this go. Someone's asking about 001 and Alice, wondering what those two were up to, and honestly, it's kinda sus. 004 gets a message saying 001 is on his way, and bro looks immediately stressed, like something's about to pop off. 004 is sitting in this creepy, empty room, and it's giving major bad vibes. No way this is a coincidence. The room is totally bare except for some tables and a weird cage, like a holding cell or something. It's unsettling. 004 calls out, wondering where 001 is, but it's a trap because a huge dude jolts out of the shadows, straight up attacking 004, and this is where things get messy. Our boy Ijin is walking down the street looking all cool and collected, but he senses something is wrong. He turns a corner and sees a building and the door creaks open. He's walking into the danger zone for sure. Ijin looks intense, locking eyes with someone off screen, and you just know he's about to unleash the fury. He's got that focused look ready to go, and whatever's about to happen, it's gonna be epic. Ijin is right there, and 004 finally realizes it's not a friendly visit. This dude is in trouble. 004 demands to know what 001 wants, but Ijin doesn't even bother responding, just straight up attacks. Ijin and 004 are locked in a brutal fight, blades clashing. It's fast, furious, and intense. They're trading blows, but Ijin is clearly faster, dodging and weaving, landing precise strikes. 004 tries to gain some distance, but Ijin is relentless, closing in with terrifying speed. Ijin's blade flashes and 004 gets a nasty cut across the cheek. Ouch, that looks painful. 004 is reeling, clutching his face, but Ijin doesn't give him a second to recover, launching another attack. Ijin unleashes a devastating series of slashes, and honestly, 004 is getting wrecked. The room is filled with sparks and the sound of steel, and blood is flying. It's a total bloodbath. Ijin delivers a final, powerful slash, and the word slash explodes on the screen. This fight is over. Ijin jumps back, avoiding another attack, but 004 is right on him with a follow-up swing. 004 lands a solid hit, sending Ijin flying. No way, our boy just took one. Ijin bounces off the wall, but he's already countering with another furious attack, blades flashing. He's leaping through the air, closing the distance, and honestly, 004 looks totally overwhelmed. Ijin crashes into 004, sending them both tumbling. It's a brutal, messy collision. 004 tries to regain control, but Ijin is already on top of him, relentlessly slashing. The room is a whirlwind of red and blue energy, with Ijin dominating the fight. This dude is a monster. Ijin's blade finds its mark, and 004's eye gets sliced open. Ouch, that's gotta sting. 004 clutches his eye, momentarily blinded, and Ijin doesn't hesitate to press his advantage. Ijin delivers a final, devastating blow, and 004 is straight up unconscious. Fight over, folks. Ijin shouts "TIE" and goes for another strike, but 004 somehow blocks with his arm. 004 pushes Ijin back, creating some space, and then throws a flashbang. Smart move, bro. The flashbang explodes, blinding Ijin, and 004 tries to capitalize, but Ijin anticipates it. Ijin flips over 004 attack, landing behind him, and unleashes a blindingly fast counterattack. He's slicing and dicing, overwhelming 004 with a flurry of blades, and honestly, this dude is getting wrecked. 004 stumbles, dropping something, a white piece of paper, as he tries to escape Ijin's relentless assault. Ijin corners 004, who's bleeding and desperate but still manages to spit out a threat. What a psycho. He calls Ijin a traitor, saying they should have killed him ages ago. Talk about holding a grudge. 004 narrows his eyes, focusing on Ijin, and you can tell he's not giving up, despite being totally outmatched. Ijin just stares back, unflinching, and you know this fight isn't over yet. Things are about to get messy. Ijin's totally unfazed and straight up tells 004 he's not here to chat, he's here to finish this. No way. 004 pulls a gun, aiming right at Ijin. This dude is seriously desperate. Ijin's eyes flash red and he's got this menacing look. You know things are about to escalate quickly. Ijin doesn't even flinch, declaring he won't just sit back and die. This is a fight to the finish. 004 fires, but Ijin moves at impossible speed, dodging the bullet with ease. Closes the distance, blades flashing, and 004 is getting absolutely shredded. It's brutal. Ijin slams 004 against a wall, pinning him, and honestly, this dude is barely conscious. He's demanding to know why 004 is still alive, revealing his orders were to keep 004 contained. 004 was supposed to stay put until reinforcements arrived, but Ijin clearly wasn't waiting around. Ijin's expression is ice cold, and you can tell he's got a whole different level of ruthlessness. Ijin's got 004 pinned, demanding answers and straight up threatens to finish him if he doesn't talk. 004 reveals there's another operative, a sniper, and warns Ijin he's walking into a trap. Ijin just turns around, completely unfazed, and asks where the sniper is hiding. Bro is fearless. 004 points towards a distant structure, but Ijin is already moving, cutting through the shadows. Ijin finds the sniper. This dude's got a serious glare, and immediately goes for a lightning-fast takedown. He disarms the sniper in a blur, and honestly, this guy didn't even see it coming. Ijin demands to know who ordered the hit, and the sniper spills it's Jinwoo's dad. Ijin's shocked, his expression is unreadable, but he quickly regains his composure, demanding more info. Ijin asks what his father's plan is, and the sniper just spouts some nonsense about taking him out. What a mess. Okay, so our boy is investigating this old construction site, and it's straight up eerie. This blonde woman arrives, looking super intense, and immediately starts scoping the place out. She's examining the walls and notices they couldn't completely cover up evidence of a recent firefight. No way. She finds bullet fragments embedded in the concrete and is clearly piecing things together. But then she realizes the shots all came from above, which is seriously unsettling. Someone's climbing the stairs and she's turning to face them, totally unfazed. This woman is fearless. We get a glimpse of the enemy's feet, and the sound of the stair is a clear clock. They're making a statement. She assesses the situation. This enemy is bold, heading straight up, and her men are already reacting. However, it looks like the enemy is moving fast, and she's keeping a close eye on their approach. She's calculating everything, and honestly, this is about to go down. Prepare for chaos. She's thinking about it and realizes there's no way an entire enemy squad could fight this cleanly. But then she wonders if it was just one incredibly skilled enemy. That's a scary thought. Nope, she immediately dismisses that because there's no way one person took down everyone they sent. Suddenly, a guy peeks around the corner with a gun and another grabs someone from behind. Total ambush. This dude is straight up crushing the guy he grabbed and then starts firing. It's brutal. Pew pew, he's unloading on someone, and honestly, this is a bloodbath. She's still analyzing and realizes they weren't dealing with a squad, but a single, highly trained killer. However, she's still convinced it's impossible for one person to do all this. She's not giving up yet. She's turning and you can hear the sound of something clicking, like a gun being cocked. She's ready for a fight, and it's clear she's about to take matters into her own hands. Okay, so our girl realizes her agents totally fell for a trap. They expected the enemy to use the stairs. She's watching the carnage unfold, and its brutal enemies are dropping left and right, covered in blood. Another agent goes down, and honestly, this dude had it coming. He wasn't paying attention. She's sizing up the situation, calculating distances, and getting ready to intervene. She's a pro. She starts walking forward, heels clicking on the floor. That clack, clack is a warning sign. She looks up at the night sky, and it's kinda eerie, like she's accepting this fight is inevitable. She's thinking about how her team was outsmarted, and she's clearly not happy about it. She gives a cold stare, and you know someone's about to get wrecked. She's got that look. She keeps walking, and you can see the determination in her eyes. This is straight up serious. She's surveying the scene, and it's clear she's about to clean up this mess. She's in control. She's crying, but she's also absolutely furious. She's clearly had enough of this betrayal. She dashes forward, and the speed on this woman is insane. She's a whirlwind of fury. She jumps from the balcony, and it's a straight-up leap of faith, no hesitation at all. She spins in midair, weapon drawn, and it's a beautiful, deadly ballet, seriously impressive. She's got a gun in her hand, and she's aiming. It looks like she's about to open fire. Pew pew, she's unloading on the enemy, and the bullets are flying. Total chaos erupts. Sparks fly as bullets ricochet off metal. She's taking down multiple targets at once, no sweat. Another dude tries to get the drop on her, but she's already anticipating his move. She's a step ahead. She turns to face her enemy, and it's a cold, calculated stare. She's letting him know who's boss. She declares, "You know who I am," and honestly, that's a terrifying threat. She means business. She asks if he's here for revenge, and this dude is straight up admitting he's one of the numbers. He says bingo with a creepy smile. Clearly, he's been planning this for a while. He starts walking towards her step by step, and it's seriously unsettling. She's not backing down, though. She warns him against getting close, calling him foolish, and honestly, he should listen. He tries to close the distance, but our girl is faster. She's already drawing her weapon. Pew, she fires, and it looks like she hits him. but he's barely flinching, which is kinda scary. She fires again, and this time it's a direct hit. No way he's taking that without a reaction. Yao, the impact sends him flying backwards. She just unleashed a serious amount of force. He's down and she's still aiming. This dude messed with the wrong woman for real. She's completely ruthless, and it's clear this fight isn't over. She's not messing around. She fires again, and this time the bullet clips his weapon. No way he expected that. He's moving fast, a red energy blade appearing, but she's already anticipating his attack. She's incredible. She sidesteps the blade with insane precision, and her eyes are locked on his. She's not intimidated at all. She's already closing in, but he somehow manages to slash at her, leaving a cut on her arm. Ouch. He asks when she did that, completely confused, but our girl doesn't even flinch. She's playing it cool. She casually adjusts her coat, hiding the wound, and her expression is just terrifying. She's in control. He's still holding the bloody knife, and she's staring him down. This is getting intense, seriously. However, he's the one who seems shocked now. She's definitely hiding something, and he's starting to realize it. She's got a hidden blade of her own, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Okay, so our boy Ijin and his team are meeting with someone in this super secret underground base. This guy, Jinwoo, finally shows up, looking totally wrecked and apologizing profusely for being late. But Ijin just brushes it off, straight up saying Jinwoo probably didn't have enough time to rush over. Jinwoo looks confused to say the least, and the other dude, Chingo, is clearly side-eyeing the whole interaction. Chingo's thinking Ijin would normally be yelling at Jinwoo for hours, which is kinda intense, honestly. They're discussing what to do next, and Chingo suggests reaching out to 001, some big shot they need to contact. Suddenly, this mysterious figure appears, all covered up and looking super serious. Talk about a mood killer. Ijin's just staring straight ahead, totally composed, while everyone else is trying to figure out what's going on. We get a glimpse of a blonde woman on a screen. She looks important and maybe a little annoyed. Ijin's got this small, knowing smirk, and you just know he's about to pull something unexpected. Ijin knows this new recruit, the woman they're talking about, and it's kinda creepy. He straight up says there's no way she met his sister, and Chingo is immediately suspicious. Chingo asks how Ijin even came into contact with her, and our boy just stares him down. Turns out she's a recent hire for SW's security, but Chingo's thinking something's off with her background check. Chingo thinks she somehow slipped through the cracks, and Ijin's face is getting seriously intense. Ijin is thinking if her goal was to kill him, but then Chingo cuts him off, agreeing completely. And then, no way, he just rises from his seat. This dude is about to go into beast mode. Chingo is getting ready for action, and Ijin's face is stone cold, bro. Ijin is convinced she was sent to take him out, and Chingo is fully on board with that assessment. This dude is ready to move, and honestly, whoever sent her is about to regret it, big time. Ijin's thinking about how much this woman knows, and Chingo wants to figure that out first. Smart move. Chingo tells Ijin to leave it to them for now and then just walks away, super confident, bro. Ijin is staring off into the distance, and something is definitely bothering him. Suddenly, a new guy appears. He looks shady as heck, and Ijin winces at the sight of him. This dude is straight up bragging about being one of Forest's finest, whatever that is. He accuses Ijin of being distracted, but then asks if anyone is listening. That's a threat. A blonde woman appears, looking icy cold, and she's clearly not happy about something. The guy keeps pushing, saying Ijin should be showing off his skills, but then Ijin interrupts, asking if they were waiting for him all along. Talk about a tense moment. And honestly, this whole situation is about to explode. Ijin is not messing around. Ijin's spiraling, thinking they could have just assassinated him or taken his family hostage, but this whole setup feels way too elaborate. He realizes they already know about his grandpa and Daein, which is seriously messed up. How did they find out? The training ends, and the blonde woman, she's the instructor, thanks everyone for their work. Ijin's got a plan brewing, and he tells himself he needs to get out of this country like now. He mutters about the numbers of people in the country, and it's clear he's thinking about targets. This is getting intense. A woman on the phone asks if he got caught infiltrating SW, and she looks stressed. Something's definitely wrong. Ijin is thinking about what's happening with this woman, and it's clear she is involved with Forest. Ijin is convinced she was sent to take him out, and Chingo is fully on board with that assessment. This dude is ready to move, and honestly, whoever sent her is about to regret it. Big time. Ijin's thinking about how much this woman knows, and Shingo wants to figure that out first. Smart move. The blonde instructor calls Ijin out, saying they spent a ton of resources getting him here. Talk about pressure. She straight up says suddenly pulling him out now would be a huge loss for Forrest, and Ijin's piecing it together. She's on the phone, sounding stressed, and it's clear she's talking about Ijin. She's connected to Forrest for sure. Ijin wonders what they're planning, and Bro is starting to get seriously suspicious of everything. She calls out to Ijin, saying she's free tonight and asking what he's up to. Creepy vibes only. Ijin's completely unresponsive, and it's clear he doesn't trust her at all. Good call, honestly. The sound of heels clicking on the floor emphasizes the tension. She's closing in, and it's unsettling. Ijin's staring her down, and she's returning the gaze, and the whole scene is just dripping with mistrust. Ijin is convinced she was sent to eliminate him, and Shingo agrees. This is escalating fast. But it's clear Ijin's already planning his escape. This dude is about to disappear. No way she's keeping him. Ijin's making a beeline for the exit, and she's right behind him. She's definitely playing a role here. He's scanning the area, super alert, and Bro is already planning his next move. He's not falling for this. A mysterious man steps out of the shadows, and honestly, Ijin immediately recognizes him. This is getting interesting. Ijin realizes this guy is connected to everything, and he's finally showing his face. This dude's been hiding for a reason. Okay, so Ij is totally spiraling, convinced Alice of Forrest infiltrated SW. He's seriously messed up right now. This dude straight up asks if SW tried to kill him. He's remembering something intense with 004 and Berserk. But honestly, this dude had it coming. He's recalling Berserk threatening him, and Ij is clearly shaken. Ij is on the phone, and he's digging into Alice's background, doing some serious research on her. He discovers Alice is one of Forrest's most skilled assassins, but apparently she's super hard to control, wild card status. Ij thinks the fact Forrest still employs her proves just how dangerous she actually is. Makes sense, right? He confirms Alice has been exposed, and SW is now seemingly forced to eliminate her. No other choice, apparently. Ij is overlooking the city, explaining his findings. He's got a plan brewing, you can feel it. He lays it all out. Alice is a total beast, but a liability. He's thinking several steps ahead, as always. Ij nods, confirming his suspicions. He's fully committed to this operation, and it's getting intense. Ij is laying out his plan, confirming he's going after Alice himself. He can't let SW take her out. He jumps into action, sprinting through the city streets, determined to reach Alice first. No hesitation. But wait, someone else is moving fast, a figure in a hoodie speeding toward the same location. Ij is flying down the street, and a motorcycle roars to life, speeding after him. This is about to get chaotic. He's pushing the bike to its absolute limit, weaving through traffic, and it's a straight-up chase scene. Ij is looking intense, his expression focused, realizing someone is coming for him, and it's serious. The motorcycle gains on him, and Ij braces for impact. No way this is going to end well. However, the motorcycle swerves at the last second, narrowly missing Ij, and it's clear they're not after him. The biker is aiming for someone else, Alice, and Ij realizes he's too late to stop them from reaching her. No way, it's a full-on ambush, and Ij is left scrambling to figure out what just happened. This is a disaster. Alice pulls up on her motorcycle, timing it perfectly as Ij announces he's leaving the city. She explains she has to head back too, citing personal stuff, and Ij is totally suspicious. Something's off. Alice thanks Ij for their teamwork, and this dude is clearly trying to read between the lines. Then Alice drops a bomb. She asks if he has any family, and it's a total curveball. Alice confirms she does have family, and her expression is complicated, to say the least. Ij stares her down, trying to figure out what she's not saying, and the tension is thick. She gives him a pointed look, and honestly, it's a little unsettling. What is she hiding? Alice says she'll be in touch, but the way she says it feels like a goodbye, and Ij is not buying it. She revs the engine, and it's clear she's heading out, leaving Ij standing there questioning everything. Ij is left with a bad feeling, realizing this whole encounter was way more than it seemed. Something big is happening. Alice is all smiles, but she's clearly sizing up that guy. She's got a plan brewing, bro. She casually asks if he's got what it takes, and Jay, realizes she's testing him straight up. Alice snaps a picture of the guy with her phone, and it's a signal. She's roped someone else into this. No way, Alice floors it on her motorcycle, speeding towards the guy, and it's a full-throttle pursuit. She's gaining on him fast, and the bike's headlight cuts through the darkness. This is intense. Jay is right behind her, matching her speed, and he's clearly not happy about this reckless chase. Alice is weaving through traffic like a pro, and Jay is trying to keep up. This is insane driving, honestly. The guy tries to escape, but Alice cuts him off, forcing him to swerve, and it's a near miss. Jay is right on their tail, and the speed is picking up. They're about to hit something, bro. But then Jay slams on the brakes, revealing Alice was leading them towards a trap. She's playing 4D chess. The team thanks Jay, but this dude's immediately asking how he did today. Talk about eager. Boasts about holding out for a long time, and Jay gives a super vague answer, honestly. The guy's face drops. He's clearly fishing for approval, and Jay is playing it cool. But then a major walks in, and everyone snaps to attention. Something's up. The major casually states they're doing just fine, but his smile is kinda creepy, right? Jay looks shocked. He's realizing the major was watching the whole training session. This dude is straight up evaluating Jay, and the tension is building, bro. The major's face is intense, and he's clearly expecting something from Jay. Jay stares back unflinching. He's not backing down from this intense gaze. And the major's expression, it's a mix of surprise and something else. This is getting good. Jay tells the major he'll visit sometime, but the guy barely acknowledges him. Super awkward, right? Major drops a bomb. The village chief is sick, and they need Jay's help. No way. Jay is clearly caught off guard, and the major's face is stone cold. The pressure is on. The major's expression shifts. He's expecting Jay to jump at the chance to help, and honestly, it's kinda intense. Jay just stares back, completely unfazed. This dude is a master of keeping his cool, bro. But the major's face falls. He seems genuinely surprised by Jay's reaction, and things get quiet. The major's muttering to himself, and Jay is probably wondering what the heck is going on. However, the major's eyes narrow, and it's clear he's reassessing everything about Jay. This is gonna be a problem. Our boy Ijin is scoping out this abandoned town. Looks like a real ghost town, honestly. He enters a derelict building, and it's immediately clear something's off. It's a trap. Turns out a whole crew of armed guys are waiting for him, surrounding the building. No way. Ijin calmly walks out, assessing the situation. These dudes think they've got him cornered. He's sizing up the enemy, and they're all looking at him, but he's already planning his moves. This dude with the bandana looks particularly menacing, giving Ijin the evil eye, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Ijin's eyes narrow, and you can tell he's switching into mercenary mode. It's about to go down. More enemies are showing up, forming a circle, but Ijin isn't phased. He's completely unfazed. Another glance off, but Ijin's eyes are locked on the main threat. This is straight up intense. Ijin's face is stone cold, and you just know he's calculating the fastest way to take them all out. Ijin straight up asks the bandana dude if he can't speak. It's a bold move, bro. But before bandana dude can respond, someone yells at Evelyn to stay away from Ijin. Protective much. Evelyn doesn't listen naturally and asks why not. She's not backing down. The bandana dude steps forward, saying they don't know what Ijin's capable of, and tries to stop him. He tells Ijin he's not allowed outside, but our boy just ignores him, completely ignoring the orders. The bandana dude tries to reason with them, saying they'll get Ijin out once he's better and to just stay put. Someone else scoffs, saying there's no need to be so on edge, and calls Ijin just a wounded child. Evelyn's giving Ijin a sweet smile, but honestly, she's totally reading the room wrong. The bandana dude is not happy, and you can tell he's about to lose it. This is escalating quickly. However, it seems like Evelyn doesn't care, and she's already heading towards Ijin, defiant as ever. Ijin starts walking away, but someone calls out, reminding everyone he treated Evelyn's wounds. They point out she stayed up all night watching over him. Major props to Evelyn, seriously. The man emphasizes she deserves some acknowledgement, and Ijin just keeps walking, ignoring it all. But the older man steps forward, trying to stop Ijin, and it's clear he's not thrilled. Ijin doesn't even flinch, just keeps moving forward. This dude is ice cold. The man tries to get Ijin to at least say thank you, but our boy is totally shut down. He's clearly dismissing Evelyn's efforts, and honestly, it's a bad look. Ijin finally stops, and the man is practically begging him to acknowledge what Evelyn did. Ijin just stares at him, unblinking, and it's super unsettling. The tension is insane. He finally speaks, saying he'll remember, but it's a flat, emotionless response. No way that satisfies anyone. The older man straight up asks if this is a military camp. Ijin's got everyone on edge. Ijin touches a stack of guns, and the man confirms it looks like one, but it's not. He explains he just sheltered here while treating wounded fighters, and people started gathering over time. The man says the village formed naturally and includes kids like Evelyn who had nowhere else to go. Ijin is staring intently. You can see him processing all this, but it's hard to read what he's thinking. He's fixated on Evelyn, and his expression is intense. Bro is definitely deep in thought. Ijin's eyes narrow, and you can tell he's connecting some dots. This is about to get interesting. He seems to realize Evelyn's situation, and it's clear he's starting to understand her actions. Ijin's gaze softens slightly, and for a second, you think he might actually show some emotion. But then he just stares, and it's still super unsettling. This dude is a mystery. The chief is getting impatient. They need to leave now, or they'll lose their payment. Ijin's handler, the older man, asks why he was brought on this mission. Good question, honestly. No one knows. They just figure there are patients needing treatment at their destination. Ijin suddenly remembers Evelyn and her injuries. It hits him that she's one of those patients. He's clearly realizing she wasn't just acting out, she was in genuine pain. This dude is starting to piece it together. Ijin's expression shifts. He's still unreadable, but there's a definite change in his intensity. The vehicles roar to life and they're speeding off, but Ijin is completely lost in thought. He's remembering Evelyn's bandages, and a flashback shows her getting hurt. It's a lot to process. But then boom, an explosion rocks the area near their convoy, throwing everyone for a loop. Ijin snaps back to reality, looking incredibly focused. This is where our boy comes alive. Ijin is straight up furious. He realizes they're being ambushed and Evelyn is in danger. One of the enemy soldiers fires a rocket launcher and the convoy explodes. It's chaos. Ijin reacts instantly, jumping out of the vehicle with lightning speed. This dude doesn't even hesitate. Another soldier opens fire and Ijin's handler gets hit. No way, this is getting intense. Ijin's handler manages to return fire, but he's clearly wounded. He's still trying to fight through it. Ijin's unloading on everyone. It's a total firefight, and he's taking down enemies left and right. More soldiers rush in, and Ijin's team is getting overwhelmed. They need backup ASAP. One of the enemy soldiers grabs Evelyn, trying to use her as a hostage. Talk about a low blow. But Ijin isn't having it. He's already moving to intercept, and this soldier is about to regret everything. 2 armed guards are posted outside, keeping watch. Things seem quiet, but you know it never is. A rugged man in a tactical vest is getting an urgent report from a messenger, and the news isn't good. This dude, the messenger, is getting chewed out for his lack of manners, but he insists it's serious. He spills the beans. Pillagers are attacking the village, and the older man's face immediately darkens. The man's expression is ice cold. You can tell he's about to unleash some serious fury. He's already barking orders, telling everyone to prepare to move out right now. No time to waste. The rugged man is clearly ready for action, and he's gearing up to head out immediately. He's giving the order to leave, and honestly, these pillagers are about to regret everything. The man is ready to roll, and the other guy looks like he knows this is going to be intense. Our boy is about to go to war. It's going to be a brutal fight, you just know it. Our boy is down, seriously wounded after the ambush, but he's patching himself up like it's nothing. Evelyn discovers the carnage and her face is straight up horrified. She can't believe what she's seeing. She stares at the injured man, then at the bodies, and starts to wonder why everyone was so wary of him. Someone, an older man, approaches Evelyn and immediately warns her to stay away from this dude. He reveals that our boy is leaving soon anyway, implying there's more to the story than she knows. Evelyn looks back at the wounded mercenary, a confused expression on her face. What is going on? She's clearly conflicted, but the man's warning is sinking in, and she's starting to get the message. However, Evelyn seems determined to figure things out for herself. She's not backing down. She's thinking about the man's warning, and it's obvious she's processing everything, piecing it together. But this dude is still alive, and something tells me he's got a few more surprises up his sleeve. Evelyn is questioning everything, and the mercenary just wants her to focus. No time for a breakdown. She's desperate, begging him to save her mom and the other villagers, and it's hitting him hard. The man with the gun is all business, ordering them to leave immediately. This place is seriously dangerous. Evelyn tries to protest, to ask what's going on, but the man isn't listening. He's focused on getting out. He's clearly worried, pleading with someone. It's intense, and Evelyn's looking at him like, who are you even talking to? Evelyn is desperate, yelling for help and pleading with the man to save her mother and the villagers. He's frozen, completely overwhelmed, but Evelyn's cries are cutting through everything. She's not giving up. The man finally snaps out of it, looking back at Evelyn with a determined expression. He's gotta act fast. He's got a plan, whatever it is, and Evelyn is trusting him with her life. It's a huge moment. But the man's face is full of pain. He's clearly struggling with something, and it's not just the mission. Evelyn is laying it all out. She has no money, but promises to pay him back once everyone's safe. But this dude straight up waves it off, saying payment isn't necessary, and Evelyn is confused as heck. He wants her to think of this as repayment for everything he's done for her. It's a surprisingly sweet moment. Evelyn is totally thrown, asking what he's even talking about, and our boy is giving her the silent treatment. He just tells her to lay low, things are about to go down, and he's clearly gearing up for a fight. Turns out this village is a haven for mercenaries, and the man is confirming what Evelyn already suspected. She's freaking out, but he's trying to keep her calm, telling her to stay hidden while he takes care of it. Pillagers are coming, and he's certain they'll kill everyone. No way around it. This is serious. He's taking charge, ordering Evelyn to stay put while he handles the incoming threat, and she's trusting him with her life. However, Evelyn is still panicking, eyes wide with fear. This is a nightmare, and she's right in the middle of it. Evelyn is backing away, terrified, but our boy is stepping forward, straight up facing the mercenary leader. The mercenary fires, hitting our boy in the chest, and Evelyn screams. It's brutal, no hesitation. He's going down, clutching his wound, but he manages to return fire, hitting the leader in the shoulder. This dude is relentless, even injured, and he's now switching to close combat, grabbing surgical scissors. He lunges, scissors flashing, aiming for the mercenary leader's throat. It's a desperate, savage move. The leader tries to block, but the scissors find their mark, and there's a sickening POW. It's messy. He's absolutely dismantling the leader, cutting through armor like it's nothing, and the scene is pure chaos. Flashback hits Evelyn. She sees the mercenary leader from her past, the one who ruined her life. Our boy is exhausted, panting, but he's still standing, and he's finally avenged everything. He's still reeling from the fight, but demands to know if they've gathered everyone. No time to rest. Someone reports the East search party hasn't returned, and the leader is straight up furious. This is bad. He's declaring they'll kill everyone once they are all together, and honestly, he's terrifying. He lights a cigarette, looking menacing with those tattoos on his neck, and it's clear he's the mastermind. Mercenaries are rounding up the hostages, and it's a grim scene. They look totally defeated. The leader is surveying the group, scanning for anyone missing, and it's a pressure cooker situation. He's asking again about the search party, and the tension is building. Something is definitely off. The leader is spitting out orders, and it's clear he's a ruthless guy who won't hesitate to use force. He's saying they'll wipe them all out when the search party returns, and bro, this is getting intense. He takes a long drag from his cigarette, and his eyes are ice cold. This dude is a serious threat. No way the East search party returns, but it's a massacre. Bodies are literally strewn everywhere. The leader is furious, demanding to know what happened, but it's clear someone set them up, a trap. Okay, so things are intense. The title card drops and we're straight into a standoff. The scarred dude, Ijin's target, is holding a blade to Ijin's throat, all smug and confident. But Ijin isn't worried. He's got this whole situation calculated, surrounded by a bunch of goons. The enemy guys open fire, thinking they're helping their boss, but honestly, this dude had it coming. Ijin's already moving, dodging bullets like it's nothing, and returning fire with insane accuracy. The enemy forces are dropping like flies, flinching from Ijin's return fire. It's a total bloodbath. More enemies pour in, but Ijin and his backup are systematically taking them down, one by one. Ijin disarms one guy, then uses him as a human shield while continuing the assault. Cold-blooded, bro. The scarred dude tries to threaten Ijin, saying he's young and inexperienced, but Ijin just scoffs. Ijin raises his blade, mirroring the scarred dude, and it's clear this fight is about to get even more brutal. The scarred dude thinks Ijin can't land a single hit, but our boy is about to prove him wrong. He threatens that even if Ijin did manage to hurt him, everyone kneeling will still be executed. Cold. However, a mysterious voice cuts in, promising Ijin power beyond his years. This voice is offering Ijin an insane amount of strength, more than any kid should have. And in return for joining forces, Ijin can save the people in this village. It's a huge decision. Ijin looks down, conflicted, and you can see the weight of this choice on his face. The armed guards are still on high alert, completely unaware of the deal going down. They're tense, scanning the crowd, but they have no idea Ijin's about to level up. More guards enter, looking for trouble, but they're walking right into a storm. Ijin's eyes flash, and it's clear he's made his choice. Things are about to get wild. So Ijin accepts the offer, and the scarred dude thinks he's got him right where he wants him wrong. This dude straight up pulls a gun on Ijin, but our boy doesn't even flinch. He's ice cold. Boom, Ijin fires back, and the scarred dude is instantly blasted back. No way he saw that coming. Ijin doesn't stop there. He's unloading on the other guards, taking them down one by one. The guards are dropping like flies, and honestly, they didn't stand a chance against Ijin's skills. He's moving like a blur, taking out the remaining threats with pinpoint accuracy. It's insane. Ijin finishes off the last guard, and the scene is just chaos, bodies everywhere. But Ijin isn't finished. He turns the gun back on the scarred dude, who's still reeling. Another shot rings out, and this time the scarred dude goes down for good, serves him right. Ijin stands amidst the carnage, looking down at the scene, and you can tell he's not happy about this. Ijin's got a gun pressed to the scarred dude's head, and he's demanding to know who gave the order. The scarred dude tries to play dumb, but Ijin's not having it. He fires another shot, and this time it's a warning. The scarred dude finally cracks and starts spilling the beans about a mysterious benefactor and a hidden operation. But before he can finish, another guy tries to ambush Ijin, only to get instantly taken down. Our boy is too quick. Ijin continues questioning the scarred dude, demanding to know everything about the people involved. No holds barred. The scarred dude reveals they were planning something big, but Ijin cuts him off with a brutal shot, and honestly, he deserved it. Ijin surveys the scene, a mountain of bodies, and it's clear he's absolutely furious about what's happened. Suddenly, a group of men appear, looking shocked and terrified at the slaughter. They clearly weren't expecting this. One of them recognizes Ijin, and they start freaking out, realizing just who they messed with. It's perfect. Ijin stares them down, and the leader is completely paralyzed with fear. This dude is straight up terrified, and rightfully so. Ijin's saying there's gotta be more pillagers who got away. He's not letting this end here. The group of men are absolutely losing it, faces twisted with terror, realizing what Ijin is capable of. They're begging for their lives, but Ijin's totally stone-faced, unmoved by their pleas, cold as ice. Ijin's checking his gun, a single click echoing in the warehouse, and it's clear he's about to make a decision. He kneels down, gun pointed at one of the men, and you can tell this isn't going to be a friendly chat. Another guy tries to make a run for it, but Ijin's already anticipated it. No escape for these guys. Ijin's questioning them, demanding to know who ordered the hit, and they're scrambling to answer. The men are pointing fingers at each other, trying to shift the blame. It's a total mess, honestly. One of them pulls out a hidden weapon, a machine gun, thinking he can take Ijin down. Big mistake. But Ijin's faster, disarming him with ease and leaving him completely defenseless. Our boy is a beast. Ijin and his team are walking through the wreckage, and it's absolutely brutal. Bodies everywhere, no way. They find another fallen soldier, and Ijin's face is stone cold. He's clearly taking this personally. The team keeps moving, stepping over debris and past the destroyed village. It's a total ghost town. One of Ijin's guys asks what happened, assuming it was just some small-time pillagers. So naive. Ijin doesn't even bother responding, just keeps walking, and the look on his face says it all. Something's seriously wrong. They reach the perimeter fence, and one of the soldiers says they're back. It's a little too calm, honestly. Ijin's team is surveying the scene, and you can feel the tension building. They know this wasn't a simple raid. He's stepping over the bodies, each one fueling his rage. This dude is about to unleash hell. Ijin stops dead in his tracks, staring off into the distance, and the team is waiting for his orders. It's intense. He asks what the heck happened, and the other soldier tries to downplay it, but Ijin isn't buying it, not even a little. Ijin demands to know what really happened, and this soldier finally admits it wasn't just bandits. It was a full-scale attack by the Black Dragon Syndicate. However, he claims they were just scouting, not intending to wipe out the whole base, which Ijin clearly doesn't believe. Okay, so our boy Ijin and his team roll up to this compound, and it's immediately tense. They're expecting trouble. Suddenly, a vehicle screeches up, and then this weird, glowing hexagonal thing appears in the sky. No way, what is that? Ijin's group gets swarmed by armed guards, but they are pros, instantly taking formation and preparing for a fight. Someone whispers Jin. They're clearly worried about him, but he's already stepping forward, taking charge of the situation. The guards are forming a line, looking intimidating, but Ijin just walks right past them, straight toward the building. He's wearing a white shirt, looking totally out of place, but his expression is ice cold. This dude means business. He's got this intense stare, walking with purpose while another guy follows close behind, looking concerned. The camera focuses on Ijin's back, emphasizing how confident he is even when surrounded by enemies. Ijin's face is now visible and he's radiating power. He's ready to handle whatever's coming, no doubt about it. A woman in a lab coat steps forward, looking surprised, but Ijin doesn't even flinch. She's definitely connected to all this. Ijin calls out Evelyn's name. It's clear this is personal for him, and he's not messing around. No way he's leaping off the roof. He's aiming for a moving car, straight up risking it all. He lands perfectly, bracing himself on top of the vehicle. This dude's reflexes are insane. The car swerves wildly, trying to throw him off, but Ijin just digs in, tightening his grip. He's staring down the driver, completely unfazed. You can see the anger in his eyes, honestly. Someone asks how the chief is doing, but Ijin doesn't even react. He's locked in on Evelyn. Ijin asks how she's been, but it's not a friendly question. It's more like a threat disguised as concern. He's got this intense look and a slight smirk. Bro is about to unleash a world of hurt. But wait, the car is speeding toward a fence, and Ijin is still holding on. This is gonna be a crash. The car slams into the barrier and Ijin's face. He looks almost satisfied, which is terrifying. Ijin demands to know what happened to the chief, but the woman just says it's not good, ominous much. She asks how he is doing, but Ijin is completely focused, ignoring her question and staring off into space. Ijin's eyes land on someone on a rooftop. Looks like the guy who took out the chief, and he's armed. The woman shouts that the chief is here, finally announcing his presence, but Ijin is already zeroed in. We get a close-up of the chief, looking weak and frail, but something tells me he's still dangerous. Someone calls out Jin, and the chief weakly tries to respond, but it's clear he's in rough shape. Ijin is completely stone-faced, and honestly, the tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. The woman in the lab coat is clearly worried, but our boy is on a mission. He's not slowing down for anyone. The room is a total wreck, broken furniture, debris everywhere. It looks like a serious fight went down. See the chief's room, simple and bare, but it feels haunted. Something definitely happened here. The chief is reminiscing about a happy family, but his face is full of pain. Something is seriously off. Ijin asks if he reunited with his family, and the chief confirms, but it feels like a loaded answer, bro. The chief reveals he did meet his family, and Ijin's reaction is ice cold. He's not buying it. We flash back to the chief's past, and he's got a totally different look, younger, with a full head of hair. This dude is a straight-up monster in his flashback, mercilessly taking down enemies. Wow. But then we see a peaceful scene, the chief with a wife and kid. It's a heartbreaking contrast. The flashback shows the chief making a deal, promising his family a better life, but at what cost? Back in the present, the woman in the lab coat looks concerned, but Ijin is laser-focused on the chief. Ijin's eyes narrow and he asks again about his family. He's pushing for the truth and it's intense. Chief repeats he reunited with them, and Ijin's expression, it's like he's about to explode. No way. The chief insists both Ijin's parents are great people, saying they're too good for him. Weird flex, honestly. Ijin drops a bomb. His real name is Ijin Yu. The chief's eyes widen. He's totally shocked. The chief barely manages to choke out Ijin, and Ijin's expression is stone cold. This is getting intense. Ijin lays down the law. Once he's done here, the chief is never to return to this place, straight up threatening him. The chief looks like he's about to protest, but Ijin cuts him off. This dude is not playing around. Ijin turns to leave and the chief calls out that is, but Ijin doesn't even acknowledge him, just walks away. Ijin's walking away, looking all brooding and mysterious, but the chief is clearly reeling. What just happened? We see Ijin walking away and the chief's voiceover is just Jin. It's a really haunting moment. Ijin's just walking, but you can feel the tension. Something tells me this isn't over, bro. Chief is left alone, looking totally defeated, and honestly, he had it coming. Ijin storms off, flinching as he goes. He's clearly holding back a whole hurricane of emotions, bro. He's walking through the rundown building, and it's clear this place holds some seriously bad memories for him. Ijin finds his old room, and it's rough, looks like nobody's been here in ages, but he doesn't care. He sees someone lying in the bed, his dad, and for a second it looks like a peaceful reunion, but it's not. Turns out his dad is seriously injured, and Ijin's face just drops. He's masking his shock, but it's obvious. Ijin crouches beside his dad, and you can feel the weight of everything crashing down on him. No way this is happening. He's gripping his dad's hand, and it's a heartbreaking moment. Our boy is trying to stay strong, but he's clearly devastated. Ijin's dad is barely conscious, but he whispers Ijin, and honestly, this scene is brutal, bro. Okay, so our boy Ijin just finished a brutal mission and is getting patched up by his guardian, Jinwoo. Jinwoo is bandaging Ijin's wounds, and it's looking pretty serious. This dude went through it. Jinwoo says Ijin looks better and then offers him medicine, urging him to keep taking it even after he's back home. But Ijin straight up refuses the medicine, which is concerning because this guy needs to prioritize his health. Jinwoo asks where Ijin was headed before getting injured, trying to figure out what he's been up to. Ijin drops a bomb. He didn't have a destination, which makes Jinwoo seriously question everything. Jinwoo looks totally lost, clearly trying to piece together what Ijin is hiding. This is getting intense. Ijin is just staring off into space, and honestly, it's a little creepy, like he's processing something huge. Jinwoo presses Ijin, trying to get answers, but our boy is giving absolutely nothing away. Ijin insists he didn't have a destination, leaving Jinwoo completely baffled and worried about what's going on. Jinwoo tries to explain he only let Ijin stay because he had nowhere else to go, and refuses to let him become a mercenary. Ijin is unimpressed, claiming he's the most skilled in combat and would be more efficient for Jinwoo. Jinwoo is shocked by that statement, like, what is Ijin even implying? Ijin doubles down, saying he doesn't care about efficiency, and Jinwoo absolutely loses it. Jinwoo explodes, yelling about how Ijin thinks he cares about efficiency, and straight up attacks him. Ijin barely reacts, easily dodging Jinwoo's punch. This dude is on another level. Jinwoo keeps coming, throwing more punches, but Ijin just calmly deflects every single one. Ijin finally grabs Jinwoo's arm, stopping his attack, and the tension is insane. He warns Jinwoo not to act recklessly, and Jinwoo just stares back, breathing heavily. Ijin tells Jinwoo to calm down, stating he's not a mercenary, but someone who will protect him. Ijin calmly explains he's not trying to be efficient, but wants to be useful to Jinwoo. It's a total 180. Jinwoo's dad walks in on this intense conversation, and immediately demands to know what's going on. Ijin explains he's just talking about protecting Jinwoo, but the dad doesn't buy it for a second. He asks Ijin what kind of life he's lived, and bro, the tension in this room is thick enough to cut with a knife. Ijin's face darkens, you can see the memories flooding back, and it's seriously unsettling. Dad presses him, and Ijin reveals he's been fighting since he was a kid, surviving on his own. Jinwoo is stunned, realizing just how messed up Ijin's past is, and honestly, it's heartbreaking. Suddenly, Ijin's phone starts ringing, and he immediately recognizes the number. It's a restricted line. He answers, and the voice on the other end is giving orders, demanding he report his location now. Ijin hangs up, a single tear rolling down his cheek, and it's clear whatever this is, it's serious. Ijin straight up tells the person on the phone he already did what they asked, then demands to know what they want. The voice on the other end is cold, revealing they know about Jinwoo and need Ijin to keep an eye on him. Ijin's face is unreadable, but he calmly replies he's already doing that, then hangs up. This dude is playing it cool. But then Ijin's hand starts shaking and he clutches his phone tighter, revealing how stressed he actually is. He tries to compose himself, but a flashback hits him hard, images of intense fighting and a desperate struggle. Ijin's voice cracks as he tells Jinwoo about the message, and it's clear whatever it is, it's bringing up some serious trauma. The chief's message, he wants Ijin to eliminate Jinwoo. No way, this is a total betrayal. Ijin's grip on his phone tightens, knuckles white, and you can see the internal conflict ripping him apart. He tries to deny it, but the voice on the phone confirms the order, stating Jinwoo is a threat. It's getting intense. Ijin's face is a mask of pain as he accepts the mission, and honestly, this is heartbreaking to watch. Ijin's face is stone cold as he hangs up, but you can tell he's reeling from that order. He calmly tells Jinwoo he needs to train him, but it's a total lie. Our boy is planning something big. Jinwoo seems relieved Ijin wants to help, but Ijin's internal monologue is dark. He's got to prepare to eliminate him. Ijin starts outlining a brutal training regimen, pushing Jinwoo to his absolute limit, and it's intense. Suddenly, the door swings open and it's Jinwoo's mom. She's clearly worried about what's going on. Ijin tries to play it off, claiming he's just helping Jinwoo get stronger, but she's not buying it for a second. She stares him down, demanding to know what he really wants, and this dude is sweating bullets. Ijin insists he's just concerned about Jinwoo's safety, but she's totally seeing through his act. The table is covered in Korean food, and it's a beautiful spread, but the tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Ijin forces a smile, but it doesn't reach his eyes. He's trapped, and honestly, this situation is spiraling. Ijin and Jinwoo are eating, but the atmosphere is so tense, it's like a bomb could drop any second. Ijin casually suggests a walk, and Jinwoo's mom immediately zeroes in on him. She's not fooled at all. She demands to know what he's up to, and Ijin tries to act innocent, but bro, it's a terrible performance. Ijin's dad suddenly appears, and he's totally backing Ijin. This family dynamic is wild. He smoothly deflects his wife's concerns, pretending Ijin just wants to help Jinwoo train, but it's a lie. Jinwoo's mom seems to accept it, but Ijin's internal monologue reveals he's still planning to eliminate Jinwoo. No way. Okay, so the crew is starving after training. All they have is instant ramen and chips, seriously. Someone suggests delivery to their hangout spot, but then this dude starts listing off a huge food order. Spicy rice cakes, kimchi, and fried shrimp. He's going all out, and honestly, it sounds amazing. One of the guys is snapping pics of the shrimp, looking totally hyped for this feast mood. But the leader's hesitant about the spice level, saying I don't know about that, like a total scaredy cat. They compromise, going for the second spiciest option, and our boy walks out into the street. It's peaceful for a sec. Then someone shouts Hyokjum, and the guy in front flinches like he just saw a ghost. No way. He's clutching his phone, looking totally rattled. Something's definitely up, and it's not the food. The phone screen is cracked, and he's clearly seen something bad, but what even happened? Whatever it is, it's got him seriously spooked, and this peaceful street just got a whole lot more tense. He demands answers from the guy on the phone, straight up losing his cool. This is intense. Someone tries to reassure everyone, saying it's nothing to worry about, but no one's buying it. Then the guy with the phone gets grabbed and the scene goes red. What is happening? He's yelling for an answer again, but the other guy is clearly in serious pain and can't respond. We get a close-up of the guy's face. He's bruised, bandaged, and looking absolutely wrecked. The group decides to just leave him, saying they'll go ahead without him. Cold, bro, cold. They're discussing how he's Hyokjin's younger brother, and apparently they get into trouble often. Someone points out the brother goes to a different school. It's a small detail, but feels important. We mention the brothers are only a year apart and always getting into stuff together. Uh-oh. Our boy is staring off, lost in thought. Something's definitely bothering him, and it's a bad feeling. So Hyokjin's brother is at work, and everyone's noticing he's doing worse than another girl. Harsh. He overhears them talking trash and is not happy, demanding to know what they said. They double down, saying he's feeling in a total embarrassment, and honestly, this dude had it coming. He's fuming, fidgeting with his headphones, and clearly trying to hold back a reaction, but it's not working. He snaps back, telling them they heard him, but they're still not backing down. This is escalating quickly. Suddenly, his phone rings and he answers, looking super serious. What's going on now? He asks what's up, but his face changes immediately. Something's really wrong, and he's getting worried. He hangs up the call, his expression dark, and the whole office is staring. This is bad, bro, really bad. He's clearly thinking about his brother, and it's got him stressed. He's definitely connecting this to whatever just happened. He's also trying to figure out what to do next, and you can tell he's already planning something. Our boy is in combat mode. He announces he's gotta go and straight up bolts from the office. Everyone is shocked. The office falls silent as everyone stares at the door he just flew through. What a scene. He's rushing through the hospital, and it looks like he's headed straight for the emergency room. No way. He's sprinting down the hallway, and we get a glimpse of someone lying on a gurney with bandages everywhere. Our boy arrives at a room, it's number 204, and sees his brother completely bandaged up, lying in a bed. He rushes to his brother's side, grabbing his hand, and his brother weakly looks up. This is heartbreaking. His brother tries to speak, but he's clearly in immense pain and can barely get words out. It's rough. However, his brother manages to tell him about a contract and warns him to stay away. A contract? What's going on? He promises his brother he'll protect him no matter what, and his brother manages a weak smile, so sweet but tense. But then he looks up at the hospital sign, Sacred Hearts Hospital, and you can tell this is about to get real complicated. The doctor lays out the damage: broken ankle, 3 cracked ribs, and a severe head injury. This dude took a beating. However, they want to keep him hospitalized just to monitor him, which feels off, right? Someone asks how this happened, and another doctor confirms it straight up looks like an assault. No accident here. The first doctor is giving major side-eye. He knows something isn't adding up, and it's written all over his face. But then the camera focuses on the patient, our boy's brother, and he's seriously messed up, covered in bandages. He's lying there completely vulnerable, and honestly, it's heartbreaking to see him like this. The doctor is still looking at the brother, and you can tell he's suspicious. Something's not right with this whole situation. But the brother is struggling to speak, barely able to whisper, and it's clear he's in serious pain. He manages to tell our boy to stay away. A contract is involved, and it's super shady. And just when you think it can't get more intense, the doctor's face drops. He's realizing something huge. Our boy's phone is cracked to pieces, seriously, a spiderweb of destruction, and it's ringing with an incoming call. It's Sinil, his brother's rival, and he's straight up furious about losing a bet on the fight. Sinil is laying into his brother, calling him a loser and threatening payback, and it's intense. He says other guys who bet on the brother are also mad, and our boy's brother is in for a world of hurt. Sinil demands a response, but there's nothing. The brother isn't answering, and it's super unsettling. He sends another message asking if the brother is even alive, but then someone else grabs the phone. This dude with a cold stare answers the call instead of the brother, and you can tell he's not happy about it. The person on the other end, Sinil, demands to know who is answering his brother's phone, and the tension is thick. Our boy's face is grim, and it's clear he's about to unleash some serious fury. This is not going to end well. However, he's clearly planning something, and his expression says he's ready to protect his brother no matter the cost. Our boy calmly answers for his brother and straight up asks Sinil what he wants, totally unbothered. However, Sinil immediately recognizes the voice and realizes it's not his brother, making him even more furious. Okay, so our boy and his crew roll up on a warehouse full of guys, and it's immediately tense. Turns out they're here because someone messed with Hyokjung, straight up beat him down, apparently. This dude, the one with the spiky hair, is asking if these guys are the ones who did it, and he is not happy. The crew's got his back, but honestly, there are a lot of thugs here. Even they seem a little intimidated. Spiky hair dude is laying down the law. Basically, they messed with the wrong person, and it's about to get messy. But the leader of the thugs isn't backing down. He thinks 4 guys can take on all of them. What a joke. Spiky hair dude admits there's a lot of them, but he's got a plan, and it's a good one. The leader starts cracking his knuckles, thinking he's tough, but he has no idea what's about to happen. This dude snaps his fingers, and it's like a signal for chaos. The tension is unreal right now. He's cracking his knuckles too, but it's a totally different vibe. This is about to be a one-sided fight, no way. So the leader's bragging about running an illegal fight club. Higher-ups bet on the matches. Wild. He's saying Hyuk-jung's been getting beat up in these arenas, but our boy is not having it. This dude's face is screaming you messed up. I swear, the intensity is off the charts right now. Flashback time, we see a month ago, and honestly, this dude had it coming. He's throwing hands on some guy, but it's a full-on brawl with multiple opponents surrounding him. Our boy's crew is panting, clearly just finished taking out a whole squad of thugs. They look exhausted. Then we see a guy flat on the floor, covered in blood, and someone's yelling what's going on here. The scene cuts to the crew looking over the mess, and it's clear they just delivered some serious punishment. The leader's face is turning white. He's realizing he's seriously underestimated our boy. And now he's grinning, a full-on, menacing grin, because this is about to get much worse for these guys. He's got a guy's head in his hands, covered in blood, straight up brutal, but he's still talking. He says they need this guy for tonight because he messed with his friend. Oh, this is getting good. Everyone's shocked by the statement, and one guy asks what. They're starting to realize the gravity of the situation. Another guy tries to say something, but the leader cuts him off with a glare. He's clearly in charge. Our boy smirks, and you can see the gears turning in his head. He's already plotting his next move. He casually grabs someone's neck, and it's clear he's not messing around. This dude is a monster. Someone says he's got the chops, meaning he's strong enough. Understatement of the year, honestly. The leader announces they're betting on 10 matches. This fight club is way more organized than we thought. He's staring down the competition, and his expression is chilling. No one wants to be on the receiving end of that. This dude is already planning the outcome. He's not here to play games, he's here to dominate. Our boy is furious. He's clenching his fists, and you can tell someone just messed up big time. Leader's crew is setting up, all smug, thinking they're in control, but they have no idea. A red-haired guy is losing it, yelling about this jerk, thinking he can just mess with anyone he wants. He's absolutely fuming, teeth grinding, and honestly, this dude had it coming. Close up on his face, he's ready to explode, and the tension is insane. The leader's trying to look all cool and collected, adjusting his mask like he's untouchable. But the red-haired guy is stepping forward, not backing down. He's clearly not afraid. Then one of the guys in the background asks, He's spotting something our boy is already aware of. This dude's got serious ink, full sleeves. It's a warning sign, and the crew is starting to notice. Our boy's got a plan, and he's locking eyes with his opponent. The fight's about to go down. Our boy unleashes a strike. A straight-up explosion of power connects with the red-haired guy's jaw. The leader's crew is shocked as their buddy gets sent flying with a sickening POW. No way, that felt good. He's already moving, following up with another brutal blow. This dude isn't messing around. The attack lands with a thud, and the red-haired guy crumples, but he's still trying to fight back. Our boy's hands are glowing with energy, and he's launching a concentrated blast. It's intense. The leader tries to intervene, rushing forward, but our boy is too fast. He sidesteps with ease. He throws the leader off balance, sending him stumbling towards a camera setup. Oops. The camera goes flying, crashing into pieces, and the photographer is left reeling. Serves him right. But the crew doesn't back down. They're swarming our boy, trying to overwhelm him with numbers. However, he spins a whirlwind of destruction and sends them all crashing into each other. Total chaos. Our boy's hands are a blur, delivering a final, crushing blow. The leader is straight up out cold. Remaining crew members stare, completely stunned, and the blonde guy starts yelling questions. The red-haired dude, still reeling, tries to act tough, but he's clearly hurting, and honestly, he deserves it. The blonde guy demands to know what Ijin's plan is, but the redhead cuts him off, threatening our boy. But Ijin isn't intimidated. He calmly explains he's simply eliminating anyone who threatens his friends. The redhead tries to lunge, thinking he can get the drop on Ijin, but our boy anticipates the move perfectly. He grabs the redhead's wrist, stopping him cold, and the tension is thick. You can cut it with a knife. Ijin delivers a sharp warning, telling them to back off, but the blonde guy doesn't listen and steps forward. However, before he can react, Ijin spins and delivers a devastating punch to his jaw. Lights out. Ijin declares he made the right move, and the screen cuts to a shot of the underwater wreckage. What's going on? Okay, so Ijin pulls out a professional camera with a massive lens. No way. It's got a label saying Yanni X60 on it. He's filming the aftermath, documenting everything, and it's super intense. Bro is building a case. I see you. Okay, so this dude bursts in, clearly worked up about something, and the door slams shut behind him with a serious clack. He's confronting Mr. Cha, demanding to know what's been going on. Apparently, something's been profitable. Another guy joins them, sipping a drink, and they admit their little scheme is making WAY more money than they expected. Mr. Cha looks annoyed, like he's not thrilled with this whole situation, and is trying to maintain control. They're all thankful Mr. Cha let them off the hook for past stuff, and they want to pay him back, which is suspicious. This dude is grinning like a maniac, straight up saying they want a piece of whatever pie Mr. Cha is baking. Mr. Cha says he's grateful they're thinking of him, but honestly, he looks totally uncomfortable with this. He drops a bomb. He doesn't like being involved in this kind of business, which is a little late to mention, right? Mr. Cha insists he only deals with people on his level, which is a fancy way of saying he's picky about his partners. But honestly, the whole vibe is off, and I have a feeling things are about to get messy for our boy. Mr. Cha toasts to their booming business, but he's clearly faking it. Look at that forced smile. They're all chugging drinks, and honestly, it feels like a super awkward celebration. Our boy is sitting back looking at all the bottles, and it's clear he's processing something big. Someone's calling Mr. Cha, and he looks shocked, like seriously surprised. He admits he gets nervous when they call him first, which is a huge red flag, right? Mr. Cha's face is intense as he listens, and you can see he's trying to stay calm. He says he'll handle whatever it is ASAP, nodding like he's totally in control. But then he's gripping his phone so tight, and his knuckles are white. Something's definitely wrong. He assures whoever's on the line they don't need to worry, but his face says otherwise. In the final shot, just his hand crushing the phone, this dude is about to explode. Mr. Cha tries to explain they only hire adults, but he's stumbling over his words. No way. He reveals the first fighters were students and some were underage, but they're graduating soon, apparently. So basically they're switching things up to make sure everyone is of age, and it's all good, he claims. He straight up says these guys messed with the wrong people, and his smirk is creepy AF. Mr. Cha's face gets super intense as he looks down, and you can tell something's about to pop off. Then bam, this dude just starts dropping people left and right. It's a total massacre. Bodies are flying everywhere, and it's happening so fast, honestly it's insane. One of the guys reaches out, but it's too late. Mr. Cha is already down. The scene is chaos. People are sprawled all over the floor, and it's brutal. Our boy just leaves a pile of bodies, and bro, it's a message. Don't mess with his people. Someone's clearly messed with Sinil, and our boy is covered in blood. It's a serious situation. One of the attackers is getting absolutely wrecked, teeth flying everywhere, no way. Someone asks why they'd mess with him, and it's a legit question because this dude is dangerous. A guy in a suit is barking orders, telling them to get Sinil from the fight club immediately. He's demanding they track down Sinil's house and everywhere else he could be. This is escalating fast. The man sighs, looking stressed, but you can tell he's not messing around. This is serious business. Cut to Secret Heart's hospital. Looks like Sinil ended up there, all wrapped up. A doctor assures someone Sinil's okay, and they don't need to worry anymore, but Sinil, completely bandaged, asks what the doctor means, and honestly, it's kinda creepy. Sinil says he can handle things himself, but the blonde guy doesn't believe it for a second. Blonde dude insists this is way beyond Sinil's league. He's clearly seen some stuff. Sinil is all, I got this, but the blonde guy is already prepping to investigate himself. However, a silver-haired guy steps in, declaring he'll take care of it, and Sinil just sighs. The silver-haired dude is like, I have connections, and is about to call them in. This is getting interesting. But another guy interrupts, telling the silver-haired one to listen to Ijin. Whoa, hold up. Ijin, looking super serious with a mask on, is taking charge, and honestly, good. He's ready to deal with the problem, and it's clear he means business, no hesitation. Ijin announces he's got a connection to call, and you can tell he's not messing around. He's all business, ready to dive in, and it's like, okay, let's do this. Ijin's already laying down the law. These guys have no idea what they're up against, apparently. The injured guy is laughing it off, but Ijin straight up says they'll be dealt with soon enough. But then the blonde dude, the doctor, steps forward, looking all intense and protective of Sinil. The doctor asks Sinil why he didn't say anything, and our boy is surprisingly quiet about it all. Sinil brushes it off, saying he's all grown up now, but honestly that feels like a dodge. He admits he couldn't bring himself to tell anyone what happened, and you can feel the weight of that. However, it's clear Sinil is holding something back. There's a lot more to this story. The doctor is definitely worried and is looking at Sinil with major concern. Ijin is just standing there silent, but you can tell he's sizing up the situation. This dude is always calculating. No way, the doctor is now back in the hallway looking totally furious, and something's about to go down. Okay, so the story jumps right in. We're seeing the title card for Teenage Mercenary 167. Suddenly, 003, that's our boy, just appears looking all ethereal and powerful and asks how everyone's been. Everyone's shocked she's alive, seriously shocked, but she's totally unfazed, just radiating confidence. She's strolling towards her old team and they're all staring, clearly trying to figure out what's happening. One of the guys tries to shout at her like he's angry she's back, but she doesn't even flinch. And then no way, she just slaps him across the face with some kind of energy blast, sending him flying. The room fills with cats like a bizarre hallucination, and the guy she slapped is still reeling from the hit. She's standing over him looking down like she's totally unimpressed and asks if they're not happy to see her. She's getting super close and honestly, the guy looks terrified. This dude had it coming straight up. 003 is looking straight into the camera, and you can tell she's about to cause some serious trouble. She's walking closer and closer, her heels clicking. It's so dramatic, and she's totally leaning in. No way, she just straight up kisses one of the enemy guys. Everyone is frozen, completely shocked. But it's a trap. She's got a blade hidden in her glove, and she's slicing his throat. She's pulling back, looking at him with this cold expression, and she's wiping off the blood. Now she's grabbing another guy and he's struggling, but she's way too strong. This is insane. She's got him pinned and another guy tries to intervene, but she sends him flying with a kick. She's locking eyes with the last dude and he looks absolutely terrified, and honestly, he deserves it. She's leaning in for another kiss, but this time it's different. She's definitely trying to poison him. She's pulling away, smirking, and the guy's starting to collapse. She's so ruthless, it's wild. She's just standing there watching them all fall, and she looks at content. This is getting intense. Okay, so the big guy's freaking out. He just realizes they thought 003 and Ijin were dead this whole time. But 003 just casually confirms it. She and Ijin were both presumed dead, and now they've escaped. The other guy asks why they didn't contact them, and 003 shrugs it off, saying it was a dark time and she doesn't want to talk about it. She says they were trapped in a place like an army camp, and they knew about their numbers, straight up interrogated her. Ijin finally speaks up, explaining they were held captive and interrogated, but now 003 is free. The conversation shifts, they're wondering about the other numbers, the other people who were also held captive. 003's expression is intense, and she's looking off into the distance. Something's definitely up. Ijin's asking about the rest of the numbers, and honestly, it feels like a major cliffhanger. The group is looking toward the door, and you can tell something big is about to happen. And just when you think it's over, she says, but this is gonna be wild. 003 reveals the camp split them up after 001 betrayal, giving everyone different missions. Total chaos. She explains they kept losing numbers, people, as time went on and it got increasingly grim. Ijin cuts to the chase, asking about 005 and when he escaped. Our boy is focused, bro. 003's face changes and she's clearly holding something back, staring off into space. Ijin's demanding answers and it's intense. This dude is not backing down, no way. 003 finally admits she should have been a better leader, and it's a heavy moment. She's got this haunted look and it's clear she's carrying a lot of guilt. This is rough. But then she snaps back to reality, fixing her gaze on Ijin. She's definitely hiding something. She's looking right at him, and it's like she's assessing whether he's trustworthy. However, she's also looking past him, and it's obvious she's expecting someone else to show up. Ijin straight up asks if she hasn't contacted them in 3 years. A blunt question, no filter. 003's eyes flash red, and she's clearly not thrilled with the line of questioning. Things are tense. She admits she didn't want to go back to being just a number, a nameless face in the system. Heavy stuff. Ijin's crew is standing behind him looking serious, while 003 continues to explain her past. It's a standoff. She says she wouldn't have come to find them if she didn't need to, a subtle but important detail. 003 is holding back tears, but she's trying to appear strong, and Ijin is watching her every move. She's confessing to being a terrible leader, admitting her failures. This is a raw moment of vulnerability. But she quickly composes herself and her expression hardens. She's hiding something, we know it. She's looking past Ijin, expecting someone else to arrive. Who is she waiting for, seriously? 003's face is a mess of emotion, and honestly, this is a powder keg waiting to explode. 003 drops a bomb. She's here to recruit Ijin and his friends for a private military company. No way. Everyone's shocked, staring at her with question marks practically floating over their heads. It's a tense moment. She explains she's got powerful backers and they need support, and Ijin's crew is clearly intrigued but cautious. 003 lays it all out. She wants to build this company, and she believes they're the perfect recruits, straight up. The rest of the group is still silent, processing everything, and honestly, it's a little unsettling. One of the guys steps forward, looking skeptical, and asks what kind of work this company will actually do. 003 doesn't answer directly, saying it's complicated. Yeah, that's a red flag if I've ever seen one. Another member of the group speaks up, questioning if this is some kind of trap, and Ijin's listening intently. 003 just smirks, saying they missed her, and bro, that's not a reassuring answer at all. Something's definitely up. Straight up chaos erupts as a team attacks the house, glass shattering everywhere. It's a full-on assault. More glass explodes and the attackers are moving fast, but our boy is already responding with deadly precision. Someone shouts that 003 betrayed them, but honestly, this whole situation is spiraling out of control so quickly. This dude is seriously buff, and he's launching some kind of projectile. It looks like shurikens or something. Our boy is dodging these attacks, but he's clearly focused on something else, some kind of incoming threat. A woman with silver hair gives a wave, seemingly signaling the attackers. Wait, what? She's with them. She's got a serious look on her face and then drops the bomb. They trusted 001 too much. She reveals it was 001 who betrayed them. No way. This is a huge twist, and everyone's shocked. The silver-haired woman looks devastated, confessing they trusted 001 way too much, and it backfired big time. She repeats that 001 betrayed them, solidifying this crazy reveal, and now everyone's gotta deal with the fallout. Our boy is sizing up the situation, and he's got that classic "I'm about to end someone's career" look. He's moving fast, taking down enemies with precision. This dude is a straight-up whirlwind of destruction. The silver-haired woman is making a play, offering a truce and wanting to work with our boy. She claims their attack was just retaliation for being ambushed and tries to convince him they can fix things together. But she's seriously showing emotion, tears welling up. She's playing a dangerous game, bro. Another guy with a mohawk and a huge gun bursts in, grabbing a hostage, but our boy doesn't even flinch. This dude thinks he's safe with the hostage, but our boy is already planning his next move. It's over for him. The silver-haired woman is pleading, and honestly, her desperation is kinda creepy. What's she hiding? Our boy looks right through her, and you can tell he isn't buying a single word of it. He's seeing the bigger picture. He's got that cold stare locked on her, and it's clear this isn't a negotiation. It's a reckoning. The silver-haired woman is straight up losing it, claiming they really believed her lies, but our boy isn't having it. She insists it's all a misunderstanding, but he just stares, totally unimpressed with her act. She's digging her own grave. Our boy drops a bomb. He knew that attack, and honestly, he was waiting for them to make a move. The woman's crew is stunned, questioning if this is real, but our boy just signals it's go time. Total chaos erupts as our boy's team unleashes a brutal assault, and it's a bloodbath, no way around it. Bodies are dropping left and right, and the scene is absolutely gruesome. This dude is a one-man army. The remaining enemies are frozen, completely bewildered by the swift and merciless takedown. They didn't see this coming. The woman tries to rationalize it, saying this just makes things easier, but her smile is seriously unsettling. She asks why they'd make things harder when there's an easy way out. She's hinting at something sinister. One of the surviving enemies clenches his fists, glaring at the woman, and you can tell he's about to snap. The woman insists her initial offer was legit, claiming she came to find them for a reason. Suddenly, a sniper takes aim. Bro is popping off with a massive rifle, straight up declaring war. Our boys' team responds instantly, unleashing a hail of gunfire and grenades. It's a full-on assault. The enemy forces are swarming, but our boys' crew is just mowing them down. It's absolute chaos. The woman seems unbothered, but one of her guys is furious. He's clenching his fists, about to lose it. Our boys' team is prepping more explosives, getting ready to escalate things even further. This is getting intense. He's got this chilling smirk on his face, and honestly, he's enjoying this way too much. Another enemy fires a rocket launcher, but our boys' team is already moving to intercept. No time to react. One of the team yells, "Grenade ready." They're not messing around. This is a complete wipeout. Our boy's eyes are glowing red and his expression is terrifying. He's about to unleash hell, no doubt. Our boy lands a devastating blow, and it looks like someone's jaw just dislocated. Yikes. Boom, the forest erupts in flames as the team unleashes a massive explosion. It's total destruction. Debris and dark silhouettes rain down from the sky. It's like a nightmare unfolding. This dude is slicing through the chaos with massive blades, but honestly, it's barely making a dent. He's closing in on the woman, and she's finally looking scared. Good, she deserves it. The woman shields her eyes, questioning what's happening, but she's about to get a full explanation. Our boy is staring her down, and you can see pure fury in his eyes. This is intense. He's got this intense gaze, and it's clear he's about to deliver a serious message. The woman's face contorts in shock. She realizes this isn't a game anymore. And just like that, everything goes dark. No way, what's about to happen next? He tries to fire, but his gun jams. Talk about terrible timing. This dude tosses a grenade, and it's sailing straight toward the window. No escape. The grenade flies through the air, and honestly, it's a beautiful disaster. Clank, debris flies everywhere as the grenade explodes, ripping through the room. Boom, the explosion rocks the building, and it's complete chaos straight up. Another boom, and this time it's even bigger. The whole place is shaking. The team is dashing through the wreckage, weapons blazing. They're relentless. They're moving fast, clearing the path, but where are they going exactly? A woman with white hair appears, weapon in hand. She's joining the fight, and she looks serious. She's aiming down the sights, and her expression is ice cold. This is getting intense. Okay, so things are intense. It's pouring rain, and our boy Ijin is fighting through the forest. This is episode 169, and he's clearly been in a battle, judging by the damage. He's tracking down someone, a traitor apparently, and straight up corners them in the woods. Ijin demands to know why this guy is causing so much trouble, but the traitor barely responds. The dude is seriously messed up, covered in blood, and can barely keep his eyes open. He admits he deserves whatever's coming, but expects a quick execution for being a traitor. But Ijin's boss steps in, revealing this guy, U1, is getting a different kind of punishment. Granted, it's going to be harsh, but not death, which is a surprise, honestly. Ijin's boss says he'll put in a good word, and others will do the same, so the traitor might survive. Ijin just stares, looking totally wrecked, and we're left wondering what this harsh punishment will be. Ijin's face is totally unreadable, but he's clearly processing everything his boss said. Suddenly, the traitor starts laughing, a wild, desperate sound, and tries to grab a hidden weapon. Ijin is way too fast. He's already got his gun trained on the guy, firing instantly. It's a brutal, close-range burst, and the traitor goes down. No way he's surviving that. Ijin keeps firing, turning the traitor into Swiss cheese, and honestly, this dude had it coming. He's relentless, just emptying the magazine, but then, another figure appears, taking cover behind a tree. Someone else is shooting at Ijin, and the forest is exploding with gunfire and debris. Ijin dives for cover, returning fire, and it's a full-on shootout now, a chaotic mess. He's dodging bullets like a pro, moving fast, but it's clear he's outnumbered and surrounded. Ijin keeps blasting, but then thud. He gets hit and goes down hard. This is bad, bro. Ijin's still getting hammered with bullets, returning fire while pinned down, and it's absolute chaos. He's unloading on whoever's shooting at him, ripping through the forest. This is straight up intense. Ijin's breathing heavy, clearly hurt, but he's pushing through the pain, refusing to go down. He's got a look on his face like he's seen it all before, and honestly, he probably has. Another shooter appears, and Ijin's immediately on them, but he's clearly exhausted and bleeding. He's struggling to stay conscious, his vision blurring, and he's starting to seriously wobble. Ijin asks what the point of all this is, realizing betrayal means death, and it's a super dark moment. He glances down at his arm. That tattoo is visible, and we see a glimpse of his past life. The gun is soaked, rain pouring down, but Ijin's still clutching it, ready to fight to the end. The boy is completely wrecked, but he's not giving up. Ijin is a straight-up machine. His former comrade Seol is absolutely floored. Ijin made it this far without killing anyone. What a question. Seol says they went through hell with their training, but now Ijin's a complete monster in battle, and honestly, fair. Ijin's face is a mask of exhaustion and pain, but he's still holding his ground against the downpour and the enemy. Seol asks if Ijin wants to run away, but our boy straight up tells him to go, no hesitation at all. He's got this icy stare, and it's clear he's saying get lost with every fiber of his being. Seol's shocked. He thought Ijin would at least try to talk, but this dude is just done. Ijin's still soaked and bleeding, but his eyes are locked on Seol, and the tension is insane. Seol's getting ready to leave, but he's clearly still conflicted. He can't believe Ijin's changed this much. He turns to walk away, but Ijin stops him with a single, chilling word, go. No way, that's not intimidating. The forest is dark and drenched, and it's a super ominous scene. Ijin is left alone with his demons. Ijin's still standing firm, but a group of guys suddenly rushes him in a training room. What is going on? He's getting absolutely swarmed, and this dude is taking a beating, but he's barely flinching. One of the guys tries to land a blow, but Ijin grabs his arm and throws him straight into another opponent. It's a whirlwind of action. Ijin is moving so fast, it's like everyone else is in slow motion. He's using every part of his body as a weapon, and honestly, these guys are seriously underestimating him. Ijin delivers a brutal series of attacks, and one guy goes flying, pow, straight to the ground. Another dude tries to get in on the action, but Ijin intercepts with a powerful strike, pow, another one down. It's a complete beatdown, and Ijin is just dismantling everyone. Pow, pow, the sound effects are insane. The remaining guys are clearly terrified, realizing they messed with the wrong person. They're scrambling back. Ijin stands over the pile of defeated opponents, looking completely unfazed. This dude is a legend. Ijin's breathing heavy, and it turns out 003 is the one who took out everyone hunting him. No way. He's totally reeling from that reveal, flashbacks hitting him hard as he tries to process everything. The room starts creaking and groaning, and it's super unsettling, like something's about to give. Ijin's getting up, still panting, but he's got this intense focus in his eyes. Bro is locked in. He's staring down another guy, and it's clear Ijin's ready to fight again, even after that bombshell. This dude tries to rush him, but Ijin moves faster, like impossibly fast, and blocks the attack. Ijin grabs his opponent's arm and uses his momentum against him, throwing him off balance, straight up brutal. He's delivering a flurry of punches, and this other guy is completely overwhelmed. It's a total beatdown. Ijin keeps the pressure on, and honestly, this dude had it coming after attacking him. Ijin stands there looking stoic while another guy approaches. This is gonna be a long night. Ijin's opponent charges again, but our boy anticipates it and effortlessly dodges. It's like he's reading minds. Okay, so our boy is in a super intense meeting with some military brass, and it's all business. They're grilling him about his team, how many members he's got backing him up. This commander asks straight up how many people are on his team, and this dude is not impressed. One of the generals questions what she's going to do besides look pretty, which is a terrible idea, honestly. But she calmly shuts him down, hinting she's capable of way more than he thinks. Commander's face is priceless. He's clearly not expecting this level of confidence. It turns out nothing they've tried has even fazed her, which is kinda scary if you ask me. She responds with I understand, which feels like a major threat, like she's about to unleash something. The commander is speechless, and bro is clearly regretting opening his mouth right now. The atmosphere is thick, and you can tell this meeting is about to escalate quickly. She lays down the law. They will be taking the lead on this operation. No objections allowed. The woman shrugs it off like it's nothing, while a serious dude in the background just stares. Now that the briefing is over, she gives a sly look. Something big is definitely brewing. We get a close-up of the stoic man, and you can tell he's calculating everything. She's got this chilling smile, like she's already 3 steps ahead of everyone in the room. The man finally speaks up, revealing his name. Jackal sounds ominous, right? Another close-up of her, and her expression is just intense. She's clearly a force to be reckoned with. She surveys the room, and it's clear she's assessing everyone, deciding who's a threat and who isn't. She's totally in control, radiating confidence while the other guys look on nervously. And honestly, this whole scene feels like the calm before a massive storm. Everyone's at the table, and it turns out Daein is going on a business trip abroad. No way. The old man immediately assumes Daein's getting rewarded for being good at her job, and she's loving the praise. But our boy Ijin interrupts, saying he's just there to observe the chairman's security. Ijin explains there's a separate security team already assigned to protect the chairman, which feels off. The old man brushes it off, saying that's just how things are, super shady honestly. Daein gives a knowing look like she sees right through the old man's BS. She's playing 4D chess. Ijin's staring intensely at the old man, and you can tell he doesn't buy any of it. The old man continues to talk down to them, but Ijin just gives him a cold this dude is asking for it. Daein and the old man are now discussing the situation, but Ijin's expression says he's not convinced. Ijin's face is a stone wall, and it's clear he's prepping for whatever's about to go down. It's 8:00 a.m. and Ijin's already piecing things together. 003 totally set up an ambush, bro. Ijin's on the phone asking about 002, but something's off, he's hiding something. Daein chimes in saying thankfully no one was seriously hurt, but that just makes things weirder. Turns out 002 and his crew vanished after warning them about the ambush, straight up ghosted everyone. And because of that, all their safe houses are compromised, they're totally out of options. Ijin's grilling someone about where 003 is right now, and his glare could cut steel. This guy's face is unreadable, but you can tell he's thinking 5 steps ahead. It's intense. Someone's trying to act cool, but they're clearly rattled, and Ijin isn't buying it for a second. This dude's on his phone, probably trying to cover his tracks, but Ijin's already got him figured out. Honestly, Ijin's about to unleash hell. This is gonna be good. Ijin's getting the lowdown. Turns out someone tried to kill 002 and his whole squad. No way. Daein's furious, calling out whoever ordered the hit, but Ijin's already focused on the next move. They're coordinating, planning to contact everyone with updates, but Ijin's got one more thing to say. He tells Daein she's going abroad and warns her to hide her face. Apparently, she's famous in certain circles. Ijin's on the phone laying down the law, and it's clear he's expecting trouble. This dude is always prepared. He's checking the city from above, scoping out the area, and the view is intense, seriously. We get a look inside a warehouse packed with supplies. It's a full-on operation happening here. Someone's loading a gun, and it's a close-up, which means things are about to pop off for real. The gun clicks as the hammer's pulled back. This is the calm before the storm, bro. And honestly, this whole setup feels like a trap, but our boy isn't backing down, not even a little. Ijin straight up tells Alice to stay put and not wander off, but she doesn't listen. Classic teenage rebellion. Alice ignores him, and Ijin's already losing patience, turning to face her with a serious glare. She doesn't answer, so this dude just stomps on her phone, no hesitation, seriously. He demands an answer, and his face is inches from hers. This is getting intense, bro. Ijin grabs Alice, pulling her close, and honestly, she looks completely shocked by his sudden move. He's not messing around. Ijin clearly wants answers and isn't afraid to get physical to get them. Okay, so a squad of masked dudes is raiding the building, straight up looking for trouble. Things get messy fast. Someone's already bleeding out. No way, that's a good sign. In the control room, Alice, the director, and another agent are watching the chaos unfold, looking grim. The director calmly tells everyone to just wait, like they have a plan, but it feels kinda sus. One of the security guys is like, let's just go in and handle this, but he seems hesitant. Alice cuts him off, demanding Jackal, aka our boy, takes charge of this whole situation. Cut to a shadowy figure on the phone, saying they absolutely cannot let anyone else finish what they started. Flashback: Alice and someone named Quinn are training, hinting at a past connection and a potential mission. Alice is annoyed. She doesn't need Alice to take credit for being a hero, and she's already anticipating trouble. She reveals she trained with SW security guards, giving her a bad feeling about what's happening now. Okay, so Jackal bursts into the room, and one of the guards immediately tries to take him down. But our boy is way too fast. He dodges the attack and slams the guard into the door, knocking him out cold. Another guard tries to get up, but Jackal's already on him, delivering a brutal blow. It's a knockout, no doubt. Suddenly, a ding sounds. The elevator's here, and honestly, it's a really bad time. More masked figures fled out of the elevator, armed to the teeth, looking seriously menacing. One of them swings at Jackal, but he ducks and counters with a powerful strike of his own. Pow. Now it's a straight-up brawl, with Jackal taking on multiple opponents, dodging bullets and delivering swift kicks. He's moving through them like they're nothing, but they just keep coming. It's a relentless attack. The guards are stepping over his fallen opponents, continuing their advance, showing zero mercy. We get a super intense overhead shot of the gun barrels, and you just know things are about to get even more chaotic. Jackal's got a gun trained on the remaining guards and straight up mows down the first few, no hesitation. He's unloading on them, and one of the guards manages to raise his weapon, but Jackal's too quick. Jackal deflects the shot with his own gun, and the force sends the guard reeling. It's brutal. More guards rush him, but this dude is a whirlwind of bullets, taking them down one by one. He's completely cleared the immediate area, but there's still one guy trying to flank him, thinking he's sneaky. Jackal spins around and delivers a devastating kick, sending the guard flying pow right to the jaw. The remaining masked figures are dropping like flies, but one manages to stumble forward, still firing. Jackal finishes him off with a quick shot, then turns his attention to the last wounded guard. He's standing over the fallen guards, and the scene is messy, to say the least. It's a bloodbath. Now, a shadowy figure emerges, looking down at the carnage, and he's clearly not happy. This is bad. Okay, so Ijin suddenly smells gas, like a lot of gas, and everyone around him flinches, super suspicious. He asks if something's wrong, then straight up drops the bomb. He can smell gas, and it's not good. Ijin's face is stone cold, and he's assessing the situation, realizing this is way more than a simple attack. The old man looks shocked, and the other guard is questioning what Ijin means. They're clearly caught off guard. Ijin explains that the other security guards haven't reacted, which means they're probably all unconscious, cold. He orders them to put on gas masks, but it's a race against time. The gas is coming in fast. Ijin's putting on his own mask, and he's realizing the enemy has total control of the hotel. No way. He's shouting they need to get out of there now, and his expression is intense. He knows this is serious. Ijin's got his mask on, looking like a total pro, and he's analyzing the situation. This dude doesn't miss a thing. He confirms gas is flooding through the vents and the phone lines are down, meaning they're trapped. This is bad, really bad. Ijin's already taking charge, aiming down sights with his rifle. This dude is a machine. He fires, taking out the rappelling enemies through the shattered window, but more are coming fast. Ijin keeps firing, and honestly, these guys didn't see that coming. Total wipeout. The old man's down, injured, and Ijin's already covering him, yelling for them to move. Shell casings are flying everywhere. It's a full-on firefight, and Ijin's in the zone. He's dragging the old man, protecting him while still laying down suppressing fire. So intense. Ijin gets the old man to relative safety, then barks out, "Let's go." No time to waste. He's scanning the room, making sure the coast is clear, and his focus is unreal, bro. Ijin's giving orders, getting everyone prepped for extraction. Our boy is a natural leader. He's got his mask on, looking all serious, and they're heading out. Time to get out of there. Ijin and another agent are hauling wounded bodies out, but it's a total bloodbath, straight up gruesome. A commander is losing it, demanding a report, but it's clear both teams are down. No one's answering. Someone spots Ijin and is clearly shocked, but he just stares back with this intense look. No way. More bodies are scattered across the floor as Ijin and the team retreat. This mission is a disaster. The silver-haired woman casually surveys the carnage, and honestly, she looks almost pleased. She steps over a body, and it's clear she's not fazed at all. This woman is ice cold. They announce both teams have failed, and the commander is fuming. This is going to be a mess. The woman gives a little smirk, and it's super unsettling. She knows something we don't. The team starts following the woman, but the commander looks like he's about to explode. So much tension. The commander barks an order to follow, but he's clearly rattled. Our boy's mission just went sideways. Ijin's just standing there, totally unfazed, as the commander screams at him. This dude is ice in his veins. Straight up, the scene is chaos. Armed guys in gas masks are rushing in, weapons blazing, and our boy is right in the middle of it. It's a full-on firefight, and honestly, this dude had it coming. He's getting absolutely wrecked by the incoming shots. But our boy isn't fazed. He's cool as ice, eyes locked on the enemy through that mask, sizing them up. He's got this eerie, focused energy like he's about to unleash something serious, and his finger is glowing no way. A mysterious figure in a suit and mask appears, and he's looking down on someone clearly in charge of this operation. This guy is breathing heavily, giving orders and looking intensely at the situation. He's definitely a key player. Our boy is right there, weapon ready, looking up at the suited figure, and it's a tense standoff for sure. The suited man nods, giving the signal, and bro is already moving, stepping forward with purpose. He starts ascending the stairs, and another masked figure is trailing behind, adding to the mounting tension. However, this isn't a simple mission. Something's off, and our boy is about to walk right into it. The boy is moving up those stairs, weapon raised, and another masked soldier is right behind him. It's a coordinated advance. He's aiming down the sights, targeting something up ahead, and honestly, it looks like a trap is brewing. But it is a trap. Multiple enemies appear, opening fire, and it's a straight-up ambush. The suited man is taking heavy fire, blood splattering everywhere, but he's still giving orders, unbelievably calm. This dude is moving like a phantom, dodging bullets and returning fire with terrifying accuracy. He's a machine. The other masked soldier goes down, but our boy doesn't even flinch, continuing his relentless assault. He's absolutely shredding the enemy, explosions rocking the staircase, and it's brutal, no holding back. However, the suited man is still standing, seemingly unfazed by the carnage, and he's looking right at our boy. More enemies keep pouring in, but it's like they're just slowing him down. This dude is a one-man army. He's unloading on them, spraying bullets everywhere, and the scene is a total bloodbath, seriously intense. He's dodging a hail of bullets, moving so fast it's almost a blur, straight up defying physics. But the chairman, despite being winded, is still trying to keep up, pushing himself forward. Our boy is weaving through the gunfire, taking out enemies with surgical precision. It's insane. He's leaping over the railing, using the momentum to spin and unload on another wave of attackers. However, this dude isn't just fighting, he's using the environment, turning the staircase into a weapon. He's dropping down to another level, disappearing from sight, leaving the enemies wondering what just hit them. The chairman's stamina is failing, he's gasping for air, but he's still trying to assess the situation. But it looks like our boy is already circling around, preparing for another attack. He's relentless. He bursts back into view, taking out another enemy before they can even react. No mercy. The chairman realizes our boy isn't slowing down, and honestly, he looks impressed despite everything. Our boy is laying out a plan. He wants to make it look like they escaped, so the enemy doesn't suspect a trap. He spots 3 or 4 enemies closing in and tells the others to head upstairs, but it's all a ruse. He explains that if the enemy chases them the opposite direction, they won't suspect a thing. This dude is a genius. But the chairman is clearly struggling, huffing and puffing, and he's starting to question the plan. Our boy assures him he's used to these kinds of situations, acting totally calm while chaos unfolds. He's got his weapon trained and ready, eyes focused, straight-up predator mode activated. The chairman's face is right in the frame, and honestly, he looks completely terrified. However, our boy's gaze is intense, like he's sizing up the next threat and already calculating the best way to take them down. He's got the situation totally under control, and that's a scary thought for anyone on the receiving end. And the look in his eyes, no way you want to be caught in those crosshairs. Bro is a menace. He starts taking the stairs, each step echoing as he moves. It's so tense right now. This dude is already unloading on the enemies above, suppressing them while they move. He tells the others to go this way, but it's a distraction, classic misdirection. A guard tries to get a shot off, but our boy is already anticipating it. Headshot City. He's firing again and again, taking down enemies left and right. This is a straight-up massacre. One enemy is trying to escape, but our boy puts a round right through his shoulder. No escape. He's got another enemy in his sights, but then a third one appears. Things are getting crowded. Our boy takes both of them out in quick succession, but he takes a hit to the head. He grunts in pain but shakes it off. This dude is seriously tough, honestly. He keeps firing, continuing the onslaught. No way these guys expected this kind of resistance. He's sprinting toward the elevator, dodging bullets as they whiz past. This dude is moving fast. He dives behind the elevator doors just as they start to close, narrowly avoiding a hail of gunfire. He's catching his breath, clearly shaken but already reloading. No time to rest for our boy. He hits the button for the floor above, but the elevator is jammed. Seriously, bad timing. He's trying to force the doors open, determined to get through. He's not about to be trapped. Suddenly, the enemy bursts through the doors, but our boy is ready and immediately opens fire. He takes down one enemy instantly, but another one keeps coming. This is a close quarters fight now. He's exchanging fire with the remaining enemy, the bullets flying everywhere. It's intense. He manages to take the enemy down, but takes a bullet to the shoulder. Ouch, that looks painful. He's still standing, still fighting, but he's clearly injured. This dude is a straight-up machine. He's reloading again, even with a bullet wound. This dude is absolutely relentless, honestly. Our boy straight up dashes at the masked guy, blade extended, and things get real messy, real quick. He swings, aiming for a clean hit, but the masked dude anticipates it and deflects with insane speed. The blade connects, slicing through air, and honestly, this dude had it coming, but he's still fast. Blood splatters as the masked guy takes a hit, but he's not going down. He's scoffing like it barely stings. This dude's reflexes are ridiculous. He's already countering with a strike of his own. He grabs the masked guy's hair, yanking his head back. It's brutal but effective for a split second. The masked guy breaks free, and now he's swinging his own weapon, a massive blade, towards our boy. No way, the masked guy's blade is coming down hard, and it looks like our boy's getting sliced. Blood drips onto the floor, and it's a lot of blood. Things are escalating faster than we can handle. He's got the masked guy in a chokehold, but this dude is strong, and the fight is far from over. Our boy is reeling, taking a brutal slash across the chest, and it looks seriously deep. He manages to twist, dodging a follow-up attack, but the masked guy is relentless with the blade. He grunts in pain, trying to create some distance, but the masked dude is all over him, pressing the attack. No way, the masked guy goes for another strike, aiming right for our boy's head, but he barely manages to block. He's losing ground, stumbling backwards, covered in blood, and it's a total mess. Our boy jumps back, trying to regain his footing, but this dude is fast, closing the gap instantly. He's scrambling to grab a weapon, a submachine gun, and he finally gets a grip on it. He tries to swing the gun, aiming for a hit, but the masked guy deflects it with his blade. It's insane. The masked guy is relentless. He's launching another attack, and it looks like our boy is cornered. He's reeling again, taking a hit, but he's not going down. This dude is a straight-up tank. He's dodging a flurry of energy blades, weaving through them like a maniac. It's a total whirlwind. He's up close now, mask to mask, and straight up punches the guy, but it doesn't even faze him. Our boy slides under a sweeping blade, then springs back up, trying to create some breathing room. Dashes forward, a blur of motion, but the masked guy anticipates it, sidestepping perfectly. He's moving fast, firing off shots from the SMG, but this dude is deflecting them all with his blade. He keeps firing, trying to overwhelm him, but the masked guy just keeps advancing, relentless as ever. He's cornered, back against a wall, taking another hit. This is getting brutal, honestly. He tries to create space with a kick, but the masked guy blocks, then lands a solid punch. Our boy yells, "Damn it," and launches himself forward, going for a desperate takedown. He connects, sending the masked guy flying backwards with a thud. Finally, a solid hit. He's down, clutching his leg and yelling, but he's still trying to get up. This guy is relentless. He's crawling, determined to keep fighting, but he sees the masked guy's face, and it's someone he knows. No way, it's his former squad leader. He's completely shocked, but he can't believe what he's seeing. His old leader just stares back, expressionless, and our boy is reeling. He's lost for words, straight up. He struggles to his feet, barely able to stand, and tries to ask what's going on, but his voice is shaky. He's limping towards a door, desperate to escape, but his leader is right behind him, closing the distance. He manages to reach the door, fumbling with the lock, his hands covered in blood. The pressure is insane. He clicks the lock and swings the door open, hoping to get away, but his leader is already there, gun drawn. He's backing away, cornered again, and his former leader is aiming right at him. This is a total nightmare. He's completely broken, staring up at his old leader, and honestly, this dude is devastated. His leader fires and a bullet rips through the door. It's a near miss, straight up shocking our boy. He's clutching his hand, blood gushing from the wound, and honestly, it looks brutal. He tries to stem the bleeding, wrapping his hand, but it's not working. This is bad, really bad. His leader's face is revealed, masked, but with red eyes, and he's staring right at our boy with pure intensity. They're face to face and his leader is completely unfazed while our boy is reeling. This is a seriously messed up reunion. His leader lunges and a heavy thunk echoes, something massive just connected with his arm. Another shot rings out and blood splatters everywhere. This dude is getting torn apart. He's pinned against the wall, bleeding out, and his old leader is just standing there, cold as ice. He's trying to fight back, but he's clearly outmatched. This fight is turning into a massacre. His leader is relentless, pressing the attack, and our boy is barely holding on. It's a total disaster. He's launching himself forward, dodging another attack, but his leader is anticipating every move. It's insane. He's crashing through a door trying to create space, and a woman with blonde hair is suddenly there with a gun. She's yelling lift and raising her hands, but this dude is already moving. He's a blur. She's armed with a submachine gun, and honestly, she looks like she means business, total badass. He's sprinting down the stairs, and his leader is right behind him, phasing through the walls, no way. The blonde woman fires, but he's too fast, dodging the bullets with impossible agility. This dude is a ghost. He's nearly at the bottom of the stairs, but his leader appears right in front of him, blocking the exit, trapped. The blonde woman is scoffing, reloading her weapon, and it's clear she's not impressed. She's seen this before. Someone's holding a bottle and a pink phone, and they're staring at him. It's his little sister and a friend. His sister says it's definitely Ijin, and she sounds suspicious. Our boy is in deep trouble for real. Okay, so this dude's got his sights set on the enemy, eyes locked and loaded, and he's about to move. He's slicing through the air with a blade, a flash of red. This guy's a whirlwind of precision and speed. He's confronting the enemy, straight up calling him out, and you can tell there's serious tension in the air. Our boy is closing in, moving like a phantom, and the enemy doesn't even see it coming. It's a slide attack. He's got the enemy pinned, blade at their throat, and honestly, this dude had it coming. But wait, there's a massive explosion, sending shockwaves everywhere. No way, things just escalated quickly. He kicks off a piece of debris, using the force to propel himself forward, dodging the chaos like it's nothing. He's back in action, eyes blazing, and you can tell he's not messing around. This is serious. He's already anticipating the next move, analyzing everything, and preparing for whatever comes next. He's sizing up the situation, looking for weaknesses, and it's clear our boy is always 10 steps ahead. He's grabbing the enemy's weapon mid-swing, a straight-up power move, and the blade clangs off metal. But the enemy isn't backing down. He's launching another attack, a rapid-fire assault with a pistol. Our boy is dodging bullets like it's nothing, moving with impossible speed, weaving through the gunfire. He's jumping, using the momentum to close the distance, and he's about to deliver a serious blow. A massive punch connects, pow, and the enemy goes flying, crashing through obstacles like they're paper. However, the enemy's still fighting, swinging his weapon again, aiming for a killing blow. He's deflecting the attack with his forearm, but a blade slices across his skin. Ouch, that looked nasty. Our boy is relentless, though, countering with a swift kick, sending the enemy stumbling backwards. He's leaping forward, weapon raised, and unleashing a burst of gunfire. No escape now, bro. The enemy is sent flying again, this time with a whoosh of force, and honestly, he deserved it. He's trying to get his gun up, but this dude is all over him, giving zero space. No way, the enemy is going for a bite, straight up trying to take a chunk out of our boy. He's on the ground, covered in blood, but still manages to raise his weapon. Talk about tough. Our boy fires point blank, and the enemy goes flying backwards in a spray of blood. It's brutal. Wait, the enemy is still moving, somehow, crawling towards him even after getting shot. He's aiming again, firing another shot, but this dude is relentless, refusing to stay down. Our boy fires again and again, a full clip emptying into the enemy. It's intense. However, the enemy isn't going down easily. He's still twitching, still trying to fight. He finally stops moving, lying in a pool of blood, and our boy just stares down at him. Our boy adjusts his mask, face grim, clearly unfazed by the carnage. This dude is a machine. He's still firing, unloading into another enemy, but another guy is already rushing him. No chill. Our boy pulls back, aiming again, and just obliterates the second enemy with a point-blank shot. Clean work. But wait, another enemy pops up, gun raised, and starts firing back. This is a full-on ambush. He's dodging shots, weaving through the gunfire, and returns fire with brutal precision. This dude is insane. He's unloading on the enemy, sending him stumbling backwards, but another one is flanking him, seriously. Our boy spins, bringing his weapon around and cuts down the flanking enemy before he can even react. Smooth. He's still firing, taking down yet another enemy, and the room is filling with smoke and debris. Total chaos. But there's still one left, an older guy trying to get a shot off. He's surprisingly quick. He fires, hitting the older guy, sending him sprawling, but the guy is still conscious and reaching for his weapon. Our boy advances, weapon raised, finishing the job with a final, decisive burst of gunfire. Game over. Our boy's face is stone cold, but another enemy is sprinting at him with a knife. No time to react. He spins, bringing his gun up, and just blasts the attacker, straight up point-blank range. The force of the shot sends a burst of energy, throwing the enemy backwards. It's brutal. But the recoil sends our boy stumbling back, and another enemy is already closing in fast. He manages to regain his footing, dodging another attack, and fires again, precise as always. The enemy goes down, but our boy is clearly taking damage. He's breathing heavily now. He scoffs, pushing through the pain, and starts advancing, weapon raised. This dude doesn't quit. He's sprinting down the hallway, dodging more gunfire, and honestly, these guys are just pests. He's pushing himself hard, huffing with each stride, but he's clearly gaining ground, unstoppable. He's huffing and panting, but still manages to keep his mask secure. This dude is a legend. He's turning a corner, sprinting toward the exit, but the hallway suddenly fills with guys in masks. One of them asks if he's all right. Seriously, after everything, the nerve of this dude. Our boy doesn't respond, he just scans them, calculating the threat, and it's a big one. He's moving again, but his coat is soaked in blood. He's taking a beating, no doubt. He whirls around, catching one of them off guard. Instant takedown, no hesitation. Another enemy charges, but our boy is too fast. He's already got his gun trained on him. He fires, dropping the attacker, and keeps moving. This dude is a whirlwind of destruction. He's facing down the remaining enemies, mask secure, and they look genuinely scared now. He's breathing hard, clearly injured, but still manages to maintain that ice-cold stare. He just stands there, weapon ready, letting them know he's not going anywhere, unstoppable. One of the masked guys tries to reason with our boy, saying they just want to talk. Yeah, right. But Iron's not buying it. He's already planning his next move. Okay, so things are intense. Someone's breaking into houses at night, and it's dark out. Someone on the phone gets a report about a girl wearing a gas mask, which is already a huge red flag. This dude Ijin gets the call and immediately knows something's wrong. He's super focused. But wait, the person breaking in is revealed to be 003, and she's got a full-on gas mask and gear on. She's straight up terrifying, and Ijin realizes she's the one causing trouble, which is a total shock. He's piecing it all together, judging by her voice and movements. It's definitely 003, no doubt. Ijin is losing it, scratching his head and clearly stressed about what's happening. He's on the phone, and it sounds like he's figuring out she was in their way all along. Ijin demands to know who's responsible, and it's clear he's about to go full mercenary mode. However, he's getting more info and is clearly ready to handle whatever's coming next. Turns out they always had trouble with this forest group, but now it's escalated, big time. Ijin learns Alice helped him out, and someone asks what she did, but it's connected to all this. No way, someone just got absolutely splattered with blood, and Ijin's looking right at it. He's holding a gun, and it's clear whatever happened was brutal and sudden, straight-up chaos. The blonde guy is laying out the theory. Alice probably did this because of the forest group. Ijin is silent, just staring off into space, and honestly, he looks completely shell-shocked. We see hands cuffed, and it's Alice. She's been captured, but what's going on is still a mystery. But wait, Ijin's grabbing the person holding her, and he's about to pull them closer. Things are about to pop off. He yanks the hood back, revealing Alice's face, and she's looking right at him. It's intense. Ijin's face is a mask of fury, and you just know this dude is about to unleash a world of pain. Ijin's grilling the guy, demanding to know why they're blaming Alice for the failed mission. Alice cuts in, asking why they're pinning this on her, and honestly, she's not having it. Another dude jumps in, claiming they heard it was Alice who messed up the mission. Talk about throwing shade. Ijin's learning Alice woke up from being knocked out, and apparently the agent she was with woke up too. But Ijin isn't buying it. He's convinced Jackal's story was a total lie, and he's making that known. Alice looks shook, and Ijin's words clearly hit a nerve. She's starting to sweat. They're saying Jackal ordered Alice to eliminate the target multiple times, but she refused to follow orders. Alice's hands are clenched and you can see she's fighting to keep it together. This is getting intense. Ijin's laying it all out. Jackal wanted her to finish the job and she deliberately didn't it, but why? Alice is clearly reeling from this and our boy is about to get some answers, finally. Alice asks about her brother and this dude, Ijin's handler, just brushes it off, saying she shouldn't worry about him right now. Whoa, look at that close-up. Ijin's handler is definitely hiding something. His face is all shifty. Alice is staring him down, totally unblinking, and you can tell she's not impressed with his evasiveness. Suddenly, the handler slams the door, trying to cut the conversation short, straight up rude. Alice is left alone, looking devastated, but she quickly composes herself, straightening her shoulders. Cut to a military base and a serious-looking man in camo is giving orders to a squad of soldiers. Things are escalating. He tells them to take care of her quietly and honestly. That sounds super ominous, bro. The handler is walking with another stern-faced guy, and they're clearly plotting something shady. Another close-up of the handler and his smirk is giving me major villain vibes. This dude is up to no good. But Ijin is already on the move, and you just know he's gonna figure out what's going on with Alice's brother. The handler is all smiles, telling Alice he warned her not to get involved. Talk about a power play. Alice is not having it, demanding to know what he's talking about, and she's furious. He accuses her of lying, claiming he gave an order to exclude her from the mission, but she's calling BS. Alice is straight up devastated, realizing he was setting her up to take the fall if the mission failed. She's piecing it all together, Jackal, the order, everything, and it's clear this dude betrayed her. Alice is furious, muttering damn him, and you can see the rage building behind her eyes. She's convinced he planned this from the beginning, ready to blame her if anything went wrong. Alice is completely seeing through his deception, and it's about to go down. He scoffs, trying to act like he's unbothered, but Alice isn't buying it for a second. Alice is determined to get to the bottom of this, and our boy Ijin is gonna be right there with her. Alice suddenly pulls a gun on the handler, and it's fast, no hesitation whatsoever. She fires, but he's prepared and deflects the shot with his own weapon. This guy is good. The handler retaliates, cracking Alice's gun in half with a brutal strike, and wow, that looked painful. Ijin jumps in front of Alice, taking the brunt of the attack. Our boy is always protecting her. He's using his arm to block, but the force is insane, and it's clear he's absorbing a lot of damage. Ijin disarms the handler with a swift move, then delivers a devastating blow, and honestly, this dude had it coming. The handler stumbles back and Ijin's holding a gun to his head, delivering a cold farewell. Ijin fires and it looks like a disabling shot. He's not killing him, just taking him out of the fight. But wait, a camera on a tripod reveals they were being recorded the whole time. What is happening? Okay, so this dude, the Black Ops guy, is straight up grilling Quinn, demanding to know about 003. Quinn plays dumb, asking what 003 even is, but our boy isn't buying it for a second. He drops a bomb. They know she was with 003 when they attacked the chairman. No way. Quinn acts confused, asking about the attack, but her face is giving everything away. Her eyes widen, she's totally shocked, like she just remembered something terrible. Flashback time, we see Quinn walking with someone, hinting she's connected to the Numbers organization. Everyone's staring at Quinn now, realizing she might be 003 herself. This is getting intense. She denies knowing anyone named 003, claiming no one was with them during the chairman attack. However, the guys behind her are clearly not believing a word she says, and honestly, she's a terrible liar. Okay, so the Black Ops guy is still pressing Quinn, but she's totally deflecting. She's a pro. Suddenly, one of the guys gets shot, straight up headshot, and everyone loses it. Another guard goes down, and it's clear someone inside is cooperating with the Numbers organization. This dude is covered in blood, screaming about betrayal, and honestly, he had it coming. Quinn's eyes are locked on the chaos, and she looks absolutely furious. She's about to snap. She starts walking toward the injured man, step by step, and the tension is insane. She grabs his face, and it's brutal. She's not holding back at all. Quinn demands to know where her brother is, and this guy looks like he's about to crack under the pressure. He tries to talk, but she's squeezing tighter. She's not messing around. She wants answers now. But something tells me this isn't just about finding her brother. There's a bigger game at play. He tries to play it cool, but Quinn straight up threatens to reveal everything if he doesn't talk. No way, she's unleashing a massive energy blast, and it's hitting this dude hard. The scene is total chaos, blood everywhere, and Quinn standing over the wreckage, totally unfazed. She starts laughing a creepy, unsettling laugh, and it's clear she's enjoying this way too much. Quinn asks if he really thought she'd tell him anything, and honestly, he should have known better. She looks down at the injured man, and the scene is gruesome. It's a lot to take in. He's barely conscious, gasping for air, and she finally says she'll tell him about her brother. But she just stares at him, expressionless. She's toying with him, and it's messed up. She lets out another unsettling laugh. This time, it's even creepier, and we all know this isn't over. This dude is asking what all the yelling is about. Talk about bad timing, bro. Quinn's got a gun trained on him, and he's about to learn what a bad idea that question was. No way, another guy with a gun shows up, and it's clear this is a setup, a full-on ambush. But just as they are about to open fire, a shadowy figure moves fast, taking one of them down. The guy with the gun is down, and Quinn is screaming no. She's losing it. The shadowy figure keeps moving, stepping through the blood, and honestly, it's terrifying. Our boy Ijin is revealing himself, and his eyes are cold, focused. This is serious. He's moving like a ghost, taking out another enemy before anyone can react. This dude is a machine. The big guy yells OH as Ijin takes down another one of his men. It's a bloodbath. Ijin is just relentlessly advancing, step by step through the carnage. He's unstoppable. Ijin is now facing the woman, and she asks if that's her brother. Talk about a tense moment, bro. She turns to her brother, who's bound and blindfolded, and asks why Ijin saved them. What a twist. Ijin doesn't answer, straight up demanding to know what they want from him. He's not messing around. The woman's expression shifts, and she's looking at him with a creepy smile. She's definitely hiding something. She asks why he saved them, but it's a loaded question, and Ijin knows it. She's fishing for info. But Ijin just stares at her, unblinking, and she seems surprised he's not falling for her games. Good for him. The woman's eyes narrow, and she's clearly annoyed. This is escalating fast, and it's awesome. She tries to play it off, but her expression is all kinds of messed up. She's definitely not okay. Ijin isn't buying it, and his cold gaze makes her flinch. This dude is intimidating even when silent. She's about to say something, but her eyes widen in shock. Something's happening behind Ijin, no doubt. The woman tries to snatch a walkie-talkie from a guard, but Ijin is way too fast. He intercepts it. A beam of energy shoots across the room, slicing through the air. It's a warning shot, and it's intense. She's demanding to know what's going on, and Ijin just calmly says she'll be getting a call soon, cold-blooded. She's totally shocked by his response, questioning what he means, but Ijin doesn't even bother explaining. Ijin starts turning, and the camera pans to show the scene, a massacre with bodies everywhere. It's brutal. He walks past a masked operative, and the operative is clearly disturbed by what he sees, understandably so. Ijin keeps walking toward the woman, and she's visibly rattled. She's losing control of the situation. She's trying to act tough, but her eyes betray her fear. She's straight up terrified of this dude. The woman's brother is still tied up, and she's looking at him with a desperate expression. This is getting messy. Ijin keeps advancing, and the woman realizes she's cornered. She's about to face the consequences. No way. This commander is straight up losing it. He can't find Alice or her brother anywhere, and he's demanding answers. The title card flashes, Teenage Mercenary 177. Get ready, things are about to go down. Someone finally speaks up. They trained Alice to disappear, to be a ghost, basically. He explains she was their most skilled agent, and honestly, that's terrifying. They tried to get rid of her but failed, and now the hostage they were using as leverage is also gone. This dude is realizing they unleashed a seriously dangerous weapon, a vicious beast they created themselves. The commander is all steely-eyed and grim, like he's finally understanding the gravity of the situation. He's realizing Alice is a whole other level of skilled and unpredictable, and it's kinda scary. And the worst part, they trained her, meaning they know exactly what she's capable of, which makes it even worse. The commander is clearly processing this, and you can tell he's starting to regret everything. Someone bursts in on the commander. It's a subordinate with urgent news, and he looks terrified. Commander demands to know what's going on, and his man spills it. Alice's brother is missing too. This commander is furious. He's seeing how badly things have spiraled out of control, and it's not pretty. But instead of sending out a search party, he decides to put a bounty on Alice, straight up ordering her elimination. He thinks paying someone will be the easier way to deal with Alice, but honestly, that's a terrible idea. He slams his fist on the desk in frustration. This dude is really losing it over Alice. He grabs the phone and starts making the call, ordering the bounty. This is getting intense. Someone on the other end confirms they received the order, and it's clear they are eager to take the job. Commander hangs up and his assistant is all like, "I was wondering when you'd call. Talk about shady." He's staring off into space, probably imagining all the ways this could go wrong, and honestly, it's all going wrong. The commander starts laying down the law, telling his assistant about the camp and how it was a unique case. He reveals that everyone at the camp had numbers, like they were labeled or something, which is seriously messed up. He's pointing the finger at the woman, accusing her of being a number 2 and failing at her mission. The woman doesn't even flinch, just gives him this icy stare and straight up says SW handled things better than expected. She's calmly explaining they clearly didn't have enough intel on the situation, which is a massive understatement. But then she drops a bomb. She knew about the commander's past failures and the shady operation he ran. She's basically saying he's a hypocrite, lecturing others when he's got skeletons in his own closet. Ouch. The commander tries to regain control, but she's not backing down, and it's clear she has dirt on him. He's furious, gripping his chair so tight his knuckles are white, but she just maintains her cool composure. She's casually dismissing his anger, and honestly, this woman is playing chess while he's playing checkers. The commander's assistant is ranting about recruiting more numbers, and honestly, it's giving major villain vibes. She's saying if they'd had one more person, their mission wouldn't have failed. Talk about blaming the team. But then a figure appears in the background, watching them both, and things get seriously tense. The figure's got a gun drawn, and it looks like they're aiming right at the commander. No way. The woman, though, she's totally unfazed, just calmly looking toward the danger. This woman is ice cold. She says she's been waiting to see all the numbers gathered again, and it's a creepy, ominous statement. Our boy's speeding through the city on his motorcycle, and it looks like he's headed straight for the chaos. He's accelerating, weaving through traffic, and the speed lines are insane. This dude is a maniac. The motorcycle's engine is roaring, and honestly, it's a perfect foreshadowing of the destruction to come. He's barreling toward the building where everything is going down, and it's clear he's about to crash the party. The commander's assistant is questioning where everyone is, and honestly, he's being super pushy. Someone scoffs it's one of the numbers, and then another voice cuts in, all cold and dismissive. The woman in charge announces they're all here, and the atmosphere immediately shifts. It's super tense. One of the guys lets out a little laugh, but it's cut short by a metallic clink. Something's definitely up. She says they're all here, and it's creepy because it feels like a setup, you know. This dude's face is all twisted up with a smirk, and it's clear he's got something planned. The assistant is staring at him, and you can tell he's not thrilled with this guy's attitude. Another number is looking on, hooded and mysterious. This group is giving off serious bad vibes. The smirk widens on the main dude's face, and it's clear he's enjoying the tension. He's got a dark look in his eyes, and it's obvious he's about to make a move, straight up villain energy. So everyone's admitting they have no clue why O01 gathered them. This is getting weirder by the second. He only said to gather everyone, and this assistant is straight up demanding answers, but gets nothing. Then one of the guys remembers they were all together when saving Alice's brother, and it clicks. This has to be important. The assistant admits O01 only gathers everyone for truly big stuff, like back at the camp. No way this is a coincidence. Our boy, still hooded, is just standing there listening, and honestly, his silence is the most unsettling part. The assistant seems to realize the gravity of the situation, and his expression is telling us this is serious. But then he says there's only been a handful of times O01 has called everyone together, and that's a huge red flag. Okay, so our boy Ijin is chilling in a super fancy city, and SW group is straight up massive. Someone approaches Ijin's mom, asking to borrow security personnel, but it's kinda sus from the jump. A woman explains she nearly tumbled down an escalator because someone shoved her. It sounds like a setup. Ijin's mom is not buying it for a second, asking what this is all about, and honestly, same. This other woman confirms the higher-ups changed the security team, which is a huge red flag right there. But it doesn't stop there. Apparently, these accidents keep happening to Ijin's mom. She points out SW Group's security is top tier, so how are these incidents even possible? Ijin's mom is laying it all out. Someone is deliberately targeting her, and she's not happy about it. She reveals they've been messing with her security team, and Ijin is about to unleash some serious fury. However, Ijin's mom seems to be hinting at a much bigger issue. Someone is intentionally trying to cause trouble. Ijin's mom is convinced her security isn't there to protect her. They're watching her every move. She's totally freaked out, and honestly, she has every right to be. She asks her friend if she thinks she's overreacting, but the friend is starting to see it too. The friend confirms SW Group swapped out the security team, and things are getting seriously sketchy. But here's the kicker, the friend says she'll send someone over tomorrow, like that's enough. Jin's mom is all smiles, but she's definitely playing a game, and it's a good one. She casually mentions they're getting a new temporary member, and the friend seems relieved. This dude is straight up walking into a trap, and Ijin's mom knows it. She's got this sly smirk on her face, like she's orchestrating the whole thing. No way she's setting up a pawn in this power play, and it's about to get wild. Kim is laying it all out. She took in Gi's little brother, and that's why he's here. She swears Gi only asked her to bring him for a bit, promising he'd stay out of the way. Head of security seems skeptical, but Kim insists it's all good. But hold up, the security chief gets a call and his face drops hard. Gi is demanding to know what's going on and why they sent a teenager. Kim plays it cool, explaining he's just an apprentice bodyguard, a total lie, obviously. She claims he's got veteran-level skills, trying to reassure everyone, but it's not working. Gi is on the phone, clearly not buying it, and we all know this is about to blow up. Her boy Ijin is standing right there looking intensely at Kim. She's definitely up to something. And just like that, the tension is thick. This whole situation is a setup, and Ijin knows it. Kim tries to explain sending a veteran bodyguard is too complicated, and the security team would object. The security chief's boss is listening in, and she looks unimpressed, to say the least. She admits he is young, but then straight up says he's also very handsome. Talk about a weird flex. She announces she has business to take care of outside the office and wants him to come with her, no questions asked. He agrees instantly and they start walking, but Ijin is totally reading the situation. Something is off. Ijin is leaving it up to them, letting Kim take the lead, but bro is definitely calculating every angle. He's thinking about how Yu Jeong helped him out in the past, so he couldn't say no to her request. However, it's clear this whole thing is a setup, and Ijin knows Kim is playing a game. This dude is just letting them walk, but he's clearly already planning his next move. Our boy is a mastermind. Ijin's already thinking about how Yu Jeong is overreacting, but he can't just leave her hanging. Kim tells the security team the meeting will last 2 hours and they'll rotate watch in an hour. The security chief gives a simple all right, but another guard is clearly tense. He wants a break. Ijin insists he's fine, brushing off their concern, but bro is totally playing it cool. Ijin leans against the wall, seemingly relaxed, but he's actually analyzing everything. This dude is always on guard. Suddenly, a sleek blue car speeds down the street. No way, it's a high-speed chase. More cars join the pursuit, and it's straight-up chaos. This is about to get messy. Ijin immediately recognizes the car. It's the same one that almost hit him and Yu Jeong. He asks Kim if she knows anything about it, but she pretends to be clueless. Yeah, right. Kim claims she has no idea, but Ijin isn't buying it. She's definitely involved in this. However, Ijin realizes Kim is genuinely surprised by the chase. Maybe she isn't the mastermind. Sin straight up tells Ijin she can tell Gi really trusts him. Wow, that's a heavy statement. Ijin plays it cool, saying she's just being polite, but the driver overhears and isn't convinced. The driver insists Sin was sincere, and Ijin seems to be processing that. Is he actually surprised? Sin interrupts, saying they're done for the day, and orders the driver to take Ijin to SW. She's taking charge. Ijin thanks her for her time, but she just gives him a mysterious look. Something's definitely up with her. Sin closes her eyes, seemingly lost in thought, and Ijin studies her reaction. Our boy is always observing. She murmurs something under her breath, but it's unclear what it means. This is getting intense. This dude Jinwoo is straight up staring down this older guy at a party. No fear at all. Everyone's all fancy and dressed up, but the vibe is tense, like something's about to go down. Someone thinks Jinwoo is acting way out of line, questioning who he thinks he is, talk about a power move. Jinwoo casually grabs a snack while everyone else is giving him the side eye, totally unbothered. But hold up, another guy is accusing Jinwoo of drugging someone's drink and things are escalating fast. Someone else jumps in defending Jinwoo, but this is getting messy and honestly, this dude had it coming. Jinwoo calmly states that Kim is drugged and you can see the shock on everyone's faces. The guy he called out is losing it, face turning red, straight up furious at the accusation. Jinwoo's just standing there totally calm while this guy is freaking out. Our boy is fearless. The accuser demands to know how Jinwoo knew about the drink, but Jinwoo isn't sharing his secrets. Whoa, things explode. Jinwoo straight up smacks that guy, sending glasses flying everywhere. The guy is furious, yelling at Jinwoo about acting like he's so important just because he's from SW. Jinwoo doesn't even flinch, just stares him down and calls him out for being a little brat, cold. The other guy, the quiet one, looks totally wrecked by this whole scene, like he wishes he wasn't there. Jinwoo demands the guy bow and he actually does. No way, this is a full power move. But then another dude steps in, saying they'll wait outside while Jinwoo stays with the drugged woman. He's all smiles, promising to make sure this doesn't happen again, but it's kinda creepy, honestly. Jinwoo says the reporters won't be here for a while, and his expression is intense. Close up on Jinwoo's face, and bro, something is definitely up. He's plotting something. He's got this sly look like he's about to unleash something huge, and it's kinda terrifying. Jinwoo's got the woman in his arms, carrying her out, but the creepy guy tries to stop him. Talk about nerve. This dude is blocking their way, demanding to know what Jinwoo is doing, but our boy isn't backing down. Jinwoo grabs the guy's wrist and you can tell he's about to unleash something serious. Look at that grip. He throws the guy and it's a straight-up body slam. That kapow sound effect is not kidding. The guy tries to say something, but Jinwoo silences him with a hand over his mouth, cold and efficient, as always. Then Jinwoo delivers a brutal punch, and honestly, this dude had it coming, BAM indeed. He keeps hitting, a flurry of attacks, and the guy is completely overwhelmed. It's intense. Another punch lands and you can hear the thud. No mercy from our boy, seriously. The guy is reeling, letting out a weak eep, but Jinwoo doesn't stop, he's relentless. Jinwoo's face is a mask of fury, and bro, he looks terrifying. This is a whole new level of scary. Jinwoo carries the injured woman, moving fast, but two guys in suits start following them. They're definitely up to no good. They're walking down the hallway, the tension is building, and one of the suits asks if they're trying to kidnap Kim. Talk about bold. The other suit threatens Jinwoo with a death wish, but our boy doesn't even flinch. This dude is ice cold. Close up on Jinwoo's eyes and you can see the fury brewing. He's about to unleash something serious, no doubt. He suddenly drops to his knees beside the woman, gently patting her, a total switch from the intense glare he just had. The suits are looking shocked, clearly confused by this change of pace, but Jinwoo's face hardens again. It's a trap. Jinwoo delivers a swift, brutal attack and the suits are reeling. They didn't see that coming, honestly. He's completely dominating them, a flurry of punches and kicks, and they're just trying to survive. It's a beatdown. Another suit joins the fray, but Jinwoo takes him down just as quickly. This dude is a one-man army, straight up. Jinwoo stands over the downed suits, looking utterly menacing, and someone shouts that the kid wants to square up. Oh, this is good. One of the suits tries to land a punch, but Jinwoo deflects it with insane speed. It's like he's teleporting. He counters with a brutal blow to the guy's chin, sending him flying backwards with a kapow. No way. The other suit goes for Jinwoo, but gets met with a lightning-fast palm strike to the face, straight up devastating. Jinwoo's power is surging and he sends a blast of energy at the downed suit. Boom, and honestly, this dude had it coming. The suit screams "Why you?" as Jinwoo advances, looking absolutely terrifying. This is a whole new level of intensity. He unleashes another flurry of attacks, a F-whoosh of motion, and the suits are completely overwhelmed. They can't even react. Jinwoo focuses his power, a blue glow emanating from his hands. He's about to unleash something serious for sure. He delivers another POW, a massive energy blast, and the suit goes flying, crashing into everything. Jinwoo's standing over the wreckage, looking totally unfazed. Our boy is a machine, I swear. He's still radiating power, and the scene fades to black, but you know this isn't over, not even close. MS Kim gets a call and is straight up shocked by what she hears, something seriously wrong. Someone in the car believes MS Kim was right about her security team, saying they're acting suspicious. They try to secure the scene, but MS Kim doesn't think her security is protecting her, they are watching her. She's convinced they're there to monitor her every move, and someone wonders if she was right all along. MS Kim asks where they are right now. She's clearly starting to panic, and for good reason. The driver says they've left the scene and are speeding away, but MS Kim's pulse is stable for now. The driver looks intense, focused on the road. He's not messing around, and things are about to get real. MS Kim worries that if anyone finds out she's been drugged, it'll be a disaster. She's clearly thinking ahead, and the situation is getting more and more dangerous. No way. But our boy is already on the move, and this whole thing is about to blow up in everyone's faces. MS Kim realizes her driver is the one who drugged her talk about a betrayal, but she's not going down without a fight, grabbing for the emergency brake.